with one hand and shit. Like, you know, you're not that good of a steerer. You're wonky while you're doing that.
Yeah, well, but other thing. Wow, why am I just so much louder than you? Maybe I'm not that much louder.
I moved my microphone sort of away a little bit when I'm
Ah.
obviously imbibing, you know, being religious and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do that. I just do everything. But I think but it's not just like one-handed. It's, for example, like I'm going to say shit you obviously already know. So if you're approaching an angled surface, you don't go up on an angle on the angle.
No.
So that you're like, so you want to have, so you don't want to have,
you don't have to approach the angle with as much straightness as possible.
Yeah, exactly. It's something as simple as that. You know, and people don't know that. Like, it's something as simple as that. You know, and so people don't know, and they just do stupid things. You know. So
but you only learn something like that, Si, when you push up on the wrong angle and then the client falls out and you have to reload them. That's when you truly learn. And then they're yelling at you going, you should have gone on from it straight. That's what I would have done, because they know. They've been in the fucking thing. They know how to use the wheelchair, right?
Yeah.
And then they're giving you hell because you're an idiot. Why didn't you ask me? How do I approach this? Yeah.
And, you know, and I was taught by the master, by the bloodbath, you know.
You did the backflip.
And also like driving
10 out of 10 attention backflips.
and also the like even driving in a car, like if you've got somebody who's got like, you know, if you've got someone who's a quad or whatever, there is, but all of that kind of stuff, like you are unlikely to like cause a major catastrophe just because you take a corner a bit fast and the person like struggling to hold their balance, you know.
Correct.
Like it'll because they're strapped in, like they might make them feel nervous, unsafe, but mental health's a whole other world. Like, and people just, you know, people just go, they just tick all the, oh yeah, I can do everything. You know, and then
it's a forgotten world. So
they just click everything. Oh yeah, because they want the work. No, they just want the work. Well, there's
no special colours coming out of the person when they change from mode to mode to let you know.
No, there isn't. But
basically, you've got to be able to read their face and read their what their hand and, you know, gestures are and things like that, because that's what changes.
Yeah.
You know, because you look into their eyes and that's not the same person anymore.
No.
That's when you know the changes.
Well, the client that I had, that I just dropped home before I started doing that and talking about that, like this ambulance went past and it was fucking loud. Like we were like literally like 3 meters away from it, and I could see their eyes kind of glaze out, and and instead of like then just walking across the road all of a sudden because it was time, I just stood there and I kind of watched. I was actually monitoring their breathing, and then I adjusted my breathing to match their breathing, and then slowed their breathing down with my breathing.
It's very match them and then do the subtlety. Course correction.
I didn't even speak. And then I just was like, my ears are still ringing. How about yours? And like, oh, it was so stressful.
Even more so if they suffer from audio stress, audio overload.
Well, so instead of like saying to them things, I just referred to myself. But I mean, I still don't know. Like if someone literally like started having a panic attack on the street, like freaking the fuck out, like, I'm not really sure I know what to do. You know, I'd have modes that would be probably better than most people, but you wouldn't call it trained or skilled or practiced.
Skilled,
not at all. You know, it would be on the fly, man. It would be on the fly, and I'm pretty good at dealing with situations on the fly, but still, I mean, the client had an outburst. Oh, not an outburst, but they're anti-liberals, you know, which is not an unusual thing. But you know, their inside voice came out, and then there was a guy putting up his like signs for the he was running for the area.
The exchange, was there an exchange?
There was an exchange, and then the client's all like, you know, oh yeah, what are you for? You know, you capitalist pig. Like this was real. Like it was just straight up into it.
Just delivering.
Just delivered straight into it. Which is not really. It's not a disability issue, but like it's a client. Like it's just my client. And I'm like,
sorry.
And then I'm like standing there, and then the client's looking at me like for some kind of like, what am I going to do about that? And then I'm like,
what's your addition to this scenario?
Yeah. And so I was like, you know, because either what am I going to like be dismissive, ignore them,
or you just go, hey, look, you know.
I said to the guy, he then turned around.
Like you and that person thing.
Yeah, but I can't. If they get into a conflict, it's going to go stress bang. And so I was like,
I'm prepared to defend you if they get.
I said to him, so I said, I like that you're putting up your own posters. I hope you also take them down when it's finished.
Yes, that's right.
And they were like, oh yes, we've got 1 week to do it. I wouldn't want to leave all my rubbish lying around. No, you wouldn't want to leave your rubbish lying around.
No.
And then the client approved. You know, gave the visual sort of, you know, approval that I
found common ground.
That
you allowed the both of them to find common ground.
Well, I mean, and I was So. But yeah, like if you're just like some like I need to make more money than I do like delivering fucking at McDonald's. Oh, I heard I can make money out of like pushing disabled people around. Oh yeah, and you just tick every box because you want to make sure you get the money no matter what. You know what I mean? And then you're dealing with some person, they have like some kind of autistic freaking stress attack in the middle of a supermarket and start throwing everything onto the floor and there's fucking bottle smashing everywhere. What do you do?
Well, you try and handle it as best you can, I guess. You know, stand back, let them have their whatevers. Even pop the camera out, get the phone out and start filming.
Just streaming that shit. Memeing it.
Streaming it.
Well, But the thing in that scenario is that's the
You
support
are the
workers actually,
cameraman.
but the support workers
You're
at
the
fault.
reporter.
Support workers actually responsible. But in that scenario, the mental health client would be responsible. They would be the one who would be penalised for the support worker not knowing what the fuck to do. And I think that was the crux of it. You know what I was trying to say.
Which is good because it definitely creates that boundary. You know.
Yeah. Well,
live and direct once again for the cheapenings. Cheap as
fuck.
You have been fined 1 verbal credit.
Well, we're not even live yet. Well, we are live,
Okay.
but the stream's not started. This is pre-stream. You can't be punished pre-stream, can you? I mean,
no.
I'm streaming the stream.
Unless you dribble on the floor, and then that's very negative.
Well, yeah.
Seen a lot of that recently. You know,
oh, have you?
Into clubs and pubs, yeah. The urinals are always splashed. There's always the collection of the sands sitting below the urinal on the floor. Just can't quite get in that great big hole sign. Don't know the procedure, or forget the procedure.
Sit the fuck down. That's the procedure. Sit the fuck down.
If you're swaying all over the place, then definitely take a seat.
Oh, never.
Yeah. You can't get in that. You know, should make it more difficult. Should have like it lights up, make it like a game. So you got the urinal, and then like the I'll throw the ball game, and you get more and more points as it gets tighter and tighter, and you get to 100 if you get it right in the middle of that.
You get a free drink.
Straw-sized hole.
If you get through the straw-sized hole, you get more alcohol.
And then, out comes the special token. You got 100.
Yeah.
Free drink at the bar.
That's it. Because you can still piss straight.
Thank you very much for saving us on our cleaning services.
Well, I'm seeing. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Modern problems, modern solutions. Make it a game.
Well, I was actually, we're going to do accounting, I think.
Accounting. Are we normally talking?
We're actually talking, yeah.
Yeah, chatting away and it's going out live anyway.
Yeah, in the pre-cheap way.
Like I said, if it got any cheaper, you know what'd happen? We'd be paying you, and that is never happening. No. It's like some guy in chat today on YouTube. He was like, "Oh, just pay for YouTube Premium." And I said, "No, I'll pay for YouTube when it's paying for me." How about that?
Well,
he's like, "That's pretty cheap," and I said, "Damn straight it is.
Got to get cheap
as hell."
So we should just bring up. I'm just going to bring up an activity monitor again.
Yeah. So episode 8. I don't want to see the world set on fire. Has been a bit of a fire sale recently. I don't know. A lot of businesses going down. I know you should be watching the stock market, Si. You're the stonks man.
I mean, I do.
You got them stonks.
It just depends.
I mean, I got stonks, but it's in my super, so I don't really have much control over the stonks.
Well, now you have just opened the thing I was thinking about this week. I don't know how you segued just so perfectly.
Grabbing it from the ether.
Here's the question. You can't afford to buy a house, can you? I can't afford to buy a house either.
How?
No, neither of us can afford to buy a house, right? Where are you going to get a deposit from? How the fuck, all the things.
All the things, yeah.
However, but with super, you can't buy a house for yourself. So you can't buy something or an asset that you would then benefit from. Because that's not, you got to wait till you retire.
Capital gains.
Well, more than superannuation is just it's not capital gains. It's like I don't know what the law is, but you're not allowed to benefit.
Sounds dodgy.
You're not allowed to benefit from something. Like you can't directly benefit from something. Like even if you bought a business, you couldn't get money from the business. Your superannuation fund could get super.
You could get the cut. You can get the cut.
Yeah. So if you bought, for example, a property with superannuation. Then
pay your own rent. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, you're not allowed. No, you couldn't live in it.
Why not?
No, you're not allowed.
You're not benefit. You wouldn't.
No, you are. No,
yeah,
you are.
Paying, top rent for it. You wouldn't be benefiting at all.
No. That's quite specific. It's quite specific. So you can't buy a property for yourself to live in, even if you're renting it from the superannuation fund. That'd be all over that shit.
That sounds like something a politician would do.
Exactly. Well, So, but I had an idea.
That,
I had an idea. So my super fund at the moment is around about. I got about $108,000 in super.
I'm in the one somethings.
Yeah.
I don't want to, spoil myself on the internets.
Oh, yeah,
okay. Yeah. I just,
you got like
tell it to
secret
keep
business.
going. I tell it to keep going, and I just say, hey, don't let the politicians get it.
Well, that's the whole purpose. But here's the thing: what if you bought an investment house? Now, let's say, hang on, let me reframe it. What if I bought an investment house in Queensland, and you bought an investment unit in Sydney, and I rented your investment unit, and you rented my investment house, and we bought each other a property?
That'd be something to look into.
You know what I mean?
Like no, but.
We're not directly benefiting from it, and those monies goes into our super funds.
It's a matrix world in which we live in. So
and then and your rent
worth investing some time and energy into looking into it.
Your rent goes into my paying off my super funds home loan, and your rent goes into paying off my super funds. Like, you know what I mean? Like we just swap. We buy each other a house. What if what the fuck? Because $100
that works.
$100,000.
That works. Isn't that what that collective was like though? Like you all put into that fund, and then having collective properties like the.
I mean, it's similar.
The premise.
Similar premise, yeah. Like where, like let's say there were like 4 of us, we bought one, and people have done this, but and I've totally would have done this in my life. There's just so many fucking nuppies that can't understand. They're just like, oh, but what would this happen? What would happen? No, we just
shut up.
It's just
it's the thing.
Okay, now we don't. None of us have houses. Great.
Yeah.
So
we all go and live under a bridge somewhere.
Yeah, there we go. Is that successful then? So,
Well,
so
it depends on what kind of quality cardboard box you're living inside.
well, I
Like
actually saw a
if
good
you've got a
cardboard box the other
Kelvinator
day.
cardboard box,
Yes,
and they've only got a a blah punt or whatever, or soft touch,
that's the thickness of the cardboard.
it is
So
quality.
I was looking at this cardboard this week, and it had like 2 layers of cardboard, and then between it was like a sandwich cardboard. It was like like
Extra layer, extra
yeah,
layer
like
of
insulated.
warmth.
I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, crushable,
Or triple insulated.
triple
If
insulated,
it's got
crushable,
something in the middle.
air
Yeah.
gap, the whole thing.
Pay top
Wow,
dollar for that,
cover it with a bit of alfoil. You've
Mm.
got some serious business going on,
Mate. Fully sunproof. You slap your little solar panel up the top there.
Mm.
House on the go. Fold it up, put it in your backpack. Away you go. Portable house.
Portable house,
Yeah,
cardboard
portable
house.
houses. Yeah.
That was that. Yeah,
Recycled cardboard houses. Just to make it.
I'm environmentally sustainable, friendly,
Hey,
friends.
yeah, that's
Friendly.
it.
I
Gotta
look
think
after the
about
planet.
future.
I keep that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just a little serration there. You just fold that cardboard up, backpack that shit.
Comes its own little backpack.
Yeah, portable house.
Mate.
I think you'd want to have it metallicized.
Now we're talking some sort of sense, And when it's all done with and you're finished with it, they can even use it for your cardboard box for your funeral.
Oh.
Okay? Whole
Well,
life.
I was thinking that, like, I think you'd want a metallicized external because if it rained.
Like
and
that
stuff,
anime I was watching with the guy, he was a total anti-hero, and the characters had to drag him around in a coffin. You seen that one?
Well, it reminds me of something else.
Yeah. What a life.
And
he's the best writer. Like he has the magical spell to write the most depressing story to get the character to go back to its original world.
so he's like an anti-isekai.
He's totally anti-isekai. So
he sends people back.
Once he hears their pathetic story of their previous life, he writes it down in a magical book, which then sends them back to banishes them back. You're pathetic. Get back to your pathetic life and get out of this isekai. He's like ejecting the actual heroes that are sent there or dragged there by the
And is he also
he's a hero as well, but he's like a total anti-hero. Like he comes in and he's got 1 hit point. It never goes any higher than 1 hit point. So 1 hit would kill him, but he manages to survive everything because his negativity is so high that it stops other people from being able to take advantage of him because of the poison. And he's just continuously popping pills. Like he's always popping pills to poison himself. So he just like teeters on that. Anytime his hit point gets higher than 1, like 2, the poison drags it back down to 1. So 1 hit, 1 kill. Insta win because then he goes back to his miserable life and then can suicide properly and then go on to the afterlife instead of being stuck in an isekai game. His ultimate goal is to die with his partner, and that's how he got into the world in the first place. They'd suicide and then they dragged their soul from that into the thing. So he sort of got soul resurrected into the game. And all he wants to do is get back to his original world and then find another partner to kill themselves and then to go on to whatever life again. Oh man, bizarre animation, very bizarre.
I mean,
totally.
we both have a Crunchyroll subscription.
Yeah, crunchy.
But the shit that you find, I don't know. I mean, it must be in seasons that I've seen, and I didn't select that one.
But you know me, I'm a total rando. Like when it comes to the storyline, I just go the rando.
I mean, how do you? I don't know. It's quite interesting. Like I don't know. I don't know how you find these like that one last week. I haven't watched all of it actually. I should watch the rest of it. Peter Grill. Like I watched the first 4 episodes.
Peter Grill is probably the most legendary. It's almost as good as Grabbing Dragon. Well, Grabbing Dragon's better, but Peter Grill's on the same par with Grabbing Dragon.
The animation is terrible. It's like sliding pictures. It's like they're not even trying. Like it's like. And
well, it's the comedy that goes with it. Like it's just so off the top, out of control comedy.
Teenage.
Yeah, exactly.
Teenage boy.
Teenage mind. Yeah, true.
Absolutely. It's with no kind of like not even trying to conceal it. Like many are like that, and they try and conceal it behind some kind of thin veil of something. But that doesn't even bother. It's just like, which is why it's got.
Well, it's catching up. I've been away from the animation for so long. I just had to find shit which just made me laugh. And that crap, I tell you, man, like when I watch it, I am literally just pissing myself laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it.
It is so stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm so watching like serious draft stories. Like,
yeah.
But you're watching just the most absurd thing.
Absurd craziness.
So do you even look at the star ratings?
Yeah, I have. Like originally I didn't because I thought from the perspective, if someone really doesn't like it, then it's probably worth watching.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's watched it and then they go, nah, not for me. And then that's what you want to watch to see whether it's, that out of control or not. But then I went, no, I'll have a bit more of a look through the rating system and then did a bit more of a selection in that process in the random way. Big week.
Was it?
Well, for the world, I guess.
Well, I don't know what's happened.
Olympics is over and
is that important?
Skippy the bush kangaroo. Where do we come in the tally? Do you know?
I didn't watch anything at all.
You didn't?
Not a single scarrick. The amount of fucks I give is like...
Yeah. You're not interested in the bread and circus side.
I'm not even sure when it's happening. I didn't even know that they were on. I just really didn't.
Well, it came as a surprise for me. I'm going, oh, is it that time of year again? Is it?
Yeah, I mean, I had a client, they had the TV on, and there was a news article, and Australians were being robbed, which I thought meant that they had started, but they were being robbed before it even started. So I thought it had started before it started, and
Yeah.
then I did get to see the blue dude and like that sort of a little bit of a tinsy bit of outrage around the opening,
Yeah.
and then I saw Ray Gun,
Yeah, that's the French, isn't it?
and then I saw Ray Gun.
Je ne sais quoi?
Well, it was the Greek. I mean, I didn't think that they were showing anything particularly French. I mean, they were some
It
French.
wasn't gay enough. Didn't have that true gay, Greek spirit of the original.
Well, Dionysus is a Greek god. Like I meant, like that's quite reasonable. Marie Antoinette and things in the window. Well, they did cut people's heads off. It's what it's just real, whatever.
That's revolutions for you.
And then like some DJs in a line at a table with decks. Like that's I don't know if anyone's ever seen DJs, but if you've got some DJs,
Last mix.
They just stand.
Go with the Last Supper.
There wasn't a Last Supper scene. It was just DJs at a table. It was a pretty shitty scene. It was just like it was fairly poorly constructed. I mean, they just had a person DJing. If you've got a person DJing, they're behind a table. They've got something in front of them. If they've got fellow DJs, they're usually to the left and right of them, and then they mix across the decks. Like
that's it.
So is every single DJ set taking the piss out of like what? What? You stupid people. Like, and then if they've got friends,
sometimes it makes you think: are they
be
just arguing with each other just to fight, just to have an argument?
No,
is this the 15? Is this the 5 minute or the full half hour?
It totally is. So I mean, so I saw that, and then I saw Ray Gun, and I felt really. At first, I actually thought because the first comedian who posted a meme about it, who I follow, Official Beige, because it was just like a few I think it was just a picture, and I thought that there was a joke about someone fell over. Like I didn't know, of course, that there was breakdancing at the Olympics. So I thought that what I was seeing was that someone fell over during some other sport,
injuring themselves,
and people made a joke out of it, pretending they were breakdancing.
Oh, of course.
I didn't realize that they were actually breakdancing. I thought the person fell over, and people were making a joke.
I had this whole Simpsons vibe with the whole Lisa needs braces. Lisa needs braces.
Well, yeah, I can. Yeah. I don't know, but I do know. I know Simpsons enough that even though I don't know, I do. And that's it. So I mean, you told me that.
Well, the guy from Hungary was, doing the original style of the marksmanship. No. Well, he pulled off the original style of marksmanship, which that's what it was. It was just you stand there, your little lead thrower.
Isn't that how it is?
Hand in the pocket, pop. You know what I mean? Have a go.
Isn't that how it is?
Yeah.
Do you mean it's not that?
Well, they've got like all the fancy eyewear now, and the cybernetic enhancements and.
Oh, are you allowed to have cybernetics now?
No,
mate, I have not seen
full rig. Didn't you see the meme from that where they had the whole cybernetic enhancement from the eye things? You know what I mean? Like multiple eyes, like I've got tonight.
I thought it was a joke. Like I thought someone had sort of doctored up an image to like pretend that
it was a joke, but it was based on
like
the
the
whole.
Terminator or something.
He was just like total. Hey man, I don't need a double scope to hit a target. You know what I mean? All I need is just me, my glasses, and pop, pop, pop. Thanks for the silver. Turn up in me thongs, me slappers.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do you want me to look it up? Who won?
Well, either he did. I mean, like
no. Who won the Olympics?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who got the gold?
Here we go. Who won the Olympics?
Who gold?
The USA.
And the bronzies. Yeah, of course.
Is it? Usually it's the host nation, isn't it?
Doubtful. Really? How well did the French do? What number did they come in the whole thing?
Well, I don't know. It just sort of said the USA got 126. However, the Americans were neck and neck with China.
Okay. So China in second.
Yeah, they won the same amount of gold, but they got heaps more bronze and silver.
Yeah. Yep. So the total.
So here we go. Medal count.
Well,
there.
Gravy.
I don't care.
Where did Paris come?
Okay, hang on.
Before
so US got 126 total with 40 gold, 44 silver, 42 bronze. The glorious Republic of China was 40 gold, 27 silver, 24 for 91.
Yep.
Japan
third.
Yeah.
Legendary.
And Kawaii or freaking that's it.
Legendary.
Smashing it out. Loving it. 20 gold, 12 silver, 13 bronze. So that's 45. So it's a huge drop. It's like we go from 126 to 91 to 45. Oh, this is interesting. Well, no, but then it goes up. Weird.
Well, see, populous
Australia was number 4.
Oh, what? I thought we would have been 5th or 6th or something. But
Australia was number 4 with 53 medals.
Go Australia.
So nearly as many gold, like 18 versus 20 for Japan, but lots more silver and a little bit more bronze. And then France was 5th. It actually had more medals than Australia.
What?
Yeah. What? Oh, 64.
Oh, because it probably got the
16 gold.
Bronzies and silveries.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. There must be some. There must be some kind of weird.
Has there ever been a time in Olympic history where one country's just got all gold and no anything?
Oh, I'm sure it is, but I mean, it would be.
Look it up. That'd be a look-up thing.
I'm just going down the list here to see who got. Well, Morocco got 1 gold and 1 bronze. Oh no, here we go. Dominica got 1 gold and no silver and no bronze. There you go. They look like and Pakistan.
Turkey. Where did Turkey come?
Oh, getting complicated now. Let me just, I'll have to do it. Command F.
Command F you.
Not found.
Oh.
Ugh, is it not words? It's some stupid.
Sadness.
Are they in some kind of like?
He of the many eyes. Sad.
There we go. Turkey. Where is it? Turkey. Oh, Turkey.
Turkey.
Turkey A's got a new. No, got no gold. You got 3 silver and 5 bronze. Got 8.
Bam. That's a big thing for smaller countries.
It is. Like, hang on, I didn't tell you what it came, did I? Where was its flag? See if I can find it now that I saw it. Oh yeah, 64. 64. So, Dominica beat them. Dominican bought them. They beat them with 1 gold. 1 gold is worth more than 3 silver and 5 bronze.
Bam. There's your transaction level. Look, built into the Olympics.
I think the only medals that are worth are gold and the bronze. Silver is just lame. Silver means you lost.
Well, you weren't good enough to be first.
It's not good enough.
And
bronze is like, it's like
what a legend. What an effort.
What an effort.
What an effort.
So it should be like
effort.
Should be like W.
Like, meh.
There shouldn't be gold, silver, and bronze. It should be like winner W, L,
and
then like and then bronze is like effort. Riz. Riz. So you've got the W, L, and R.
He's got speaking through the meat suit.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because this is kind of really shitty.
Beyond what the average man can do.
Because it's like, because that's not cool. Like, how does Australia get 53 and like Great Britain got 65 and was less than France? It's a freaking. It's just what the fuck? This is like the dumbest. They've got it. It's rigged. The Olympics is rigged, man.
Stop.
This is like what's gold worth 10 points?
We're gonna get letters from them. You watch.
Gold's worth 10 points. What's silver worth like 3 points? And like bronze is worth -2. If you get bronze, you get punished for bronze.
Talking about their product.
The last place got 1 bronze, and there's a few people got 1 bronze. Actually, there's a few. So let's look. Okay, so the true effort countries, Zambia got 1 bronze for athletics. We'll even note the legends. The true Riz. The Riz was Zambia. Most Riz, Zambia.
Bam.
And I don't know how do you choose? Okay, here's the thing. So there's like 1, 2. I know they're all 84th place. Okay, so they're not. It's just maybe it's just in alphabetical at that point. Okay, cool, fine.
Yeah.
So Zambia. So these are all got equal Riz. Zambia 1 for athletics.
Yep.
Slovakia for canoe, slalom.
Tick.
Okay, that's serious. Singapore.
That's big Riz.
Singapore sailing.
Nice.
Qatar athletics.
Bam.
Well,
yeah.
Very athletic in Qatar.
Keep up the steroids.
Well, yes. Peru sailing.
Nice.
This is a weird one.
Think about that. That's an effort.
The Palestinians are in here. They've got the refugee Olympic team. The sea people have got their own. The sea people refugee Olympic team. The refugees got. Sorry, you couldn't write this shit, right? So,
seriously, bro, it writes itself.
The refugee.
All we do is look at it and make an analogy.
The refugee Olympic team got 1 bronze.
Oh,
I'm just gonna, you can't guess.
Nation.
I want you to guess.
Threat.
You're not going to guess it.
Yeah. People under threat.
People under threat. What do you think they got the bronze
Max.
for?
Riz Max.
Riz Max.
It's Riz Max.
What do you think they got a bronze for? Oh, you're not meant to get it right.
Running.
Well done.
Would that be too rude? Was it like sprint or something? 100 meters?
Well, I mean, what if they call it a track? But
300. I know it'd be 1200, man. They'd want to run for a while.
You've got to run a long time if you're
No.
Okay. Boxing.
Biff at the border.
Biff, man, just
Biff at the border.
It's like, yeah, like that's, yeah.
You want to come in here, you got to have a punch on. That's worthy enough. That's it. Well, people, all they got is, bottle rockets to defend themselves with. It's quite difficult.
Yeah, punch on.
Punch on would be the way to go, wouldn't it?
So I don't know this next country. I've never heard of it. Cabo Verde. There you go. Also boxing.
Legend.
I've never heard of Cabo
Bring
Verde.
back the Biff.
Bring back the Biff.
Who doesn't love a bit of sauce? There was a lot of sauce in those.
I've heard of this place, but I'm not going to pronounce it.
Bring back tiger fighting. Bring back lion fighting.
Cage fighting.
Cage fighting with lions.
Real
lions. That's it.
Animal versus.
See if human is powerful enough to bare hands it.
Dog versus boy.
Like the good old days,
Cote d'Ivoire, which I probably fucked up real bad, is Taekwondo.
Nice.
And here's something really kind of a little bit offensive. Just a little bit offensive. Is that
slightly?
Is it?
How far are we in now? We're like
Oh, I see how it works. So there were 4 countries that placed 80th.
Yeah.
Which means that then
equivalent, across the board.
Yeah. So then the 6 countries, 1, 2, 3, 7 countries, 8 countries that were 84th, all come 84th because 4 countries came 80th.
Yes. So what happened to 82 and 83?
They just don't exist.
Why?
Because 80 there's 4 80s.
Oh, okay.
So that means.
It seems complicated. I don't know.
It's just like
I'm a pretty simple man.
Yeah, I would have thought that.
I'm like Mother Earth, man. I'm
81 after 80.
I'm like the hippie dad with the fucking dirty feet. All right, just think of me that way. You know what I mean? Happy to walk around with muddy feet.
And let's have a look. Who else was in there? What about where's old Russia these days?
Oh, they'd be doing all right, wouldn't they? I mean, they got great vodka.
They have great vodka.
Someone in the chat the other day said Russia's listening, and I said send vodka.
Well, I think there are places with better vodka than Russia, personally.
Mm.
I'm just looking through.
There's just something about potatoes and suffering, man, that just gives it that extra.
The suffering.
Yeah, the suffering just makes it like the worst taste ever, doesn't it? Like
Yeah.
it's bittersweet.
I don't.
That's what you got to say. The snufferings.
I don't think Russia's in here.
No.
Maybe they've got none. Are they called Russia? I mean, I'm sure I would notice the name even if it wasn't Russia. I'm sure I'd figure it out. No, there's no Russia.
No Rusky.
How's that?
Russia.
Is it? Who was 69th? That's always funny.
Yeah, come on, lay it on me.
Nobody. Oh, I know. Well, because 68's twice. Kyrgyzstan, and the Democratic Republic of Korea.
Nice.
Both at 68. So alphabetically speaking,
one less at 69.
Well, democratically speaking, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea is 69. Alphabetically speaking.
Okay. Yeah. Like the one to come after the first 68. Hey, I see that. That works. As long as it fits for the rest. I mean, it's starting to come together.
So yeah, North Korea. North Korea is 69 dudes.
Big ups. One of the favorite numbers. It is the 69 is the tarot or the the
Chinese Taipei.
The eternal circle.
Where's that?
Between light and darkness.
Do you know? Have you ever heard of Chinese Taipei?
Isn't that it's closer to where the Chinese, obviously their and Taiwanese Taipei borders. So
Why did it go into? It went
sanctioned.
I typed in Chinese Taipei into my mapping system, and it took me to a dumpling shop in Western Sydney.
Nice. Maybe they got the flavour there.
They must have.
Yeah, probably got one of the workers working there, suffering well, getting the true flavour of Taipei.
Taipei? It's Taiwan. Wouldn't you call it Taiwan? Maybe that's offensive to China. They wouldn't accept it, so they had to be called Chinese Taipei.
Yeah, got to be correct, politically correct in these days.
I wondered if China had made like a separate.
States.
And I just wanted to clarify for anyone who isn't listening that that I thought that maybe China had made like how they make like sometimes whole versions of things themselves. I wondered if they just made like a whole copy of Taipei so they could have a Chinese Taipei.
Wouldn't surprise me.
But apparently,
wouldn't surprise me at all.
No, apparently
plagiarism is the ultimate act of honor when you're to brilliance, don't you?
Chinese Taipei.
I'm surprised there's not more Australias. Like
Chinese Taipei.
I'm a little bit skeptical about it. I think there is more Australias out in the Pacific Ocean.
Commonly known as Taiwan. Is the term used in various international organizations and tournaments for groups or delegations representing the Republic of China, a country commonly known as Taiwan. Oh, it's not actually its real name.
There you go. See, this is learnings.
It's actually the Democratic Republic of China, but China would hate that, so they just call it Chinese Taipei.
This is normally what I do with my Orion's learnings, which I haven't done in a long time, so I might have to do a new Orion's learnings.
And I love how the Republic of Korea is the south, and then the Democratic Republic is north. The Democratic People's Republic. It's the only democratic country in the world.
You always got to know the best way to convince your enemy is to surround them, right?
So you call it democratic. I mean, there's no other country in the world that's called the democratic. It's democratic. Like the only democratic country in the world is the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. It literally says it in the name. Like, how much more can you get? Like, clearly democratic. It's not like the democratic, parliament constituent. Like, what would we be? Like the democratic nation of Australia. So that's just like
Democratic Republic of Australia.
You don't get that. We're not democratic.
That's the reason we had to change it to Kingsland, Si. You know what I mean? Like we got to get real about this modern, interpretations of what the true land is. Democratic Republic of Australasia.
Australasia.
Because we're a multicultural country. Do a new anthem for it. Everyone's getting to try and get a new Aussie anthem.
No, we've got one. Why?
Working hard to make a living.
There's people saying that should be it.
Keep it shelled.
No, it's a Telstra.
Falling from our head.
I am, you are, we are Australian. That's the Australian anthem. It's a fucking ad. It's an Australian ad.
Come on. Yeah. Where the bloody hell are you?
It's the only song. That is the only song I've ever heard.
Scotty!
It gave me any sense of patriotism. I am, you are, we are all fucking
Aussie Mandez.
Racist cunts. And I thought, yeah, that's it. That's it.
How would you like to be told about?
That's what brings Australia together. It's
that
racism.
Your mother sucked. Learn to swear in other languages. It's quite important in a multicultural society in which we live.
It is. So I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like the stupid like Gert C and crap doesn't make me. I thought that was
these nuts.
I thought that was a stupid song when I was a little kid, and we had to sing that rubbish in school. It was just rubbish.
Get these motherfucking nuts.
It's pretty much. It's all it is talking about. Like, wrap your mouth around these boys.
Yeah, like, exactly. Your
daddy needs taking care of.
Daddy Barry is joy wand into you.
That's what that song's about, And so yeah, I mean, I am
Very
you are, we
wise,
are all racist cunts is way better. It's an accurate depiction of Australia.
It's got that real Aussie feel to it.
It does.
You know what I mean? Like you can guarantee you put that the ultimate multicultural experiment. can get along with each other. I don't hear much gunfire side, nor do I hear bombs exploding and stuff. So I think we're doing all right. Like
that just says we haven't.
Australian public.
That just says we haven't stood up for ourselves.
Oh, we need to have a cultural revolution.
Yeah, if you don't really own your country, do you? We're still under the boot.
Well, I guess if you don't fight for it, you don't really own it, do you? You just, you got to kiss the king's ring.
You do,
haven't you?
You do.
Yeah, because these are old debts we're talking about, like from 200, 300, 400 years. If you can't pay your debt and kick the king's ring, then you got to kiss it, haven't you?
You got it. Okay, the king's ring needs kissing. Got to get your tongue right in there to make sure it's nice and clean. You got to clean
That's the flag.
Clean the king's ring.
The butt getting kicked.
Yeah. If you can't kick the butt away,
if you can't kick the king's butt, then you got to kiss his ring.
Yeah,
that's right. It's all part of that. Old,
polish it. Make sure it's nice.
Nightly service.
Give it a shave.
What do they call it? The
nightly servicing.
OBE'd. Have you been OBE'd recently?
I'm just trying to see how to pervert the OBE and just what would that turn into? Like
what an acronyms OBE.
Well, I mean, licking the king's ring is like that's a whole easy.
Obfuscating.
The OBE, like
bum.
I mean, nightly.
Obfuscating bum. OBE.
Clean the king's
bum
entry.
That's
it. Clean the king's.
OBE. Clean the obfuscating buttical entry.
Entry.
Yeah. Well.
Pretty much. I'd say that's and Australia still is.
You have a right to be one of the gentry and make others landed gentry to your your desires and needs.
Like Australia in particular is like basically we started off as a police state.
Yeah.
And then the police got turned into actually no, let me reframe that. We got started off they called them the military. Like the military, but they were actually police, basically military police. And so the military police came out.
Your common Roman guards. Yeah.
And then the military police, they went out and that was the barracks and everything which formed most of the towns that protected the settlers.
That, probably better to
rapists and stuff.
But
a lot of rapists, little loggers and stuff that went out there and like desecrated and murdered Aboriginal people left, right, and center.
Chopped down these beautiful, huge.
Chopped.
Heritage.
You want to hear one of the worst stories I know of like
heritage
loggers,
trees,
Australian loggers and farmers.
What a flogging, man!
No, actually, the farmers worse. The logger one.
I would be wanting to see every cunt's fucking leg. I tell you, in ultimate payback. Show your true suffering.
Imagine you're a logger, you're up in Maloney Way, and you see some Aboriginals, and they're quite hairy and stuff, and they've got particularly large scrotums. And so you think to yourself as a logger, those scrotums, they'd make a good coin bag. And so then you go and murder all of the freaking Aboriginal people up in sort of near Maloney's there. Yeah. Right. And just so you can cut off their scrotes, and then you can dry them out and sell them.
Want to vomit.
Sell them as coin bags, coin purses. There was a priest.
True history that you never hear.
There was a priest in Gympie who was showing off his Aboriginal scrotum coin bag. That's where I read about it. And that was the worst logger story I've heard.
Let him be the first speared in the fire.
And that would be often the thing. Like if you were a loggers and stuff, and you went into an area, another example would be sort of like around Mullumbimby, around like Wollumben, like around that area, right? And so like if you wanted to be the loggers in the area, your duty was to kill off all the mob. That's how you got. That was a special gift. You get kill off.
Cost. Yep. Well, I guess that works. Like you think about it from the old days, from the
special Australian
the tribe of unmentionables in the early, back in the Babylonian and Egyptian stuff, right? That when their special friend the donkey helped them out, like he said, all you got to do is kill everybody in there to have that land.
Well,
didn't he?
The huge.
Yeah.
The huge.
You just got to clear it out of all the fauna that might be
following
your problem.
Following the ways, following the traditional ways.
Get rid of the fauna that needs to be
kill every bastard. And then the worst farmer story I've heard, like these are the ones I've read, like were documented, was guy at Kenilworth.
Horror stories. Absolute horror stories.
So old mate farmer out at Kenilworth, he kept Aboriginal people in cages. Yeah, and then
it's fauna. Come on.
Yeah, and they let them out for hunting.
Think in their turn.
And then he'd let them out so they could run, and then he'd chase them down so they'd have sport, like back in the old country, the home country. He was a psychopath, this dude.
Pay some money, come out and shoot some of my fauna.
Good old boy, good old psychopath boy. Real friggin' up there murdering some.
Love you a long time.
Yep. And then I think then the publican story. Okay, the third story I have, like these are all Queensland stories, right? So I don't know because they're the ones I know. Would be Maryborough, so the Maryborough region. So there was a mob sort of a bit southeast down Tin Can Bay way. Yep. And then
why do they spit on the ground and rub their foot on its side?
So old mate's cruising through the documenter, he's cruising through. He knew the mob in Tin Can Bay, and he goes in there, and it's like all the men have been strung up, fucking gutted and killed, yeah, and none of the women. And so I
hope they ate that meat, the savages. I hope those fucking they didn't waste that fucking
the British
meat.
savages. No, they wasted it. Yeah. They wasted it. They didn't even dry it out. Not even like Aboriginal jerky wasn't even made from it. Nothing. Just wasted. Didn't even give it to the dogs. Like, you know what I mean? That's how fucking lowbrow these freaking British pricks are, right?
People who don't know how to recycle and live the land.
That's why they let a bunch of convicts and criminals out onto freaking people, man, and just sent them out there to like murder and rape and kill.
Knowledge of what it needs to recycle it.
So old mate goes up to Maryborough after seeing this horrific situation down in Tin Can Bay of all these like rotten corpses just strung up dying, yeah.
Imagine the stench.
And then he finds the women. So the women were all like enslaved in the pubs in Maryborough as prostitutes, hooked on
Bit of
opium,
a money spinner. Here we go.
drugged up on opium so that they would stay.
Nice.
Yeah, and then just treated as like
Well, you've got to make a profit out of having,
profitable prostitution. Slave prostitutes.
That's it. Having them in there.
Not good enough to eat.
Sold with the pub.
Yep.
When it changed hands, I'd imagine that gets sold. The property would get sold with the pub, wouldn't it?
And you look at the time, like Australia isn't around very long, like it's 200 years, right? And Queensland's like wasn't settled in like
Kingsland, brother.
Kingsland was settled like much later than the 220 or 30 years that New South Wales was settled. It's like more like 100, right? And so like these people like in Kenilworth and these people like in Maryborough, and like by the time we're talking about Maryborough actually having like pubs and fucking streets and people like to rape fucking Aboriginal women for while they're on opium
for some sort of entertainment,
for entertainment purposes. Then we're talking about like 100 years. Like you're literally talking about there's people alive today whose parents
still fucking know about it.
Yep. Whose parents are rapists and fucking murderers. Good old boys. Good old boys.
Yep. Holy snapping fucking duck shit, Batman.
And they'd be telling, your granddad was a good old man. He was a good old man. You know what I mean? Like that's how. And to me, when I think about the Australian psyche, that's the kind of shit I think about. Is how there's literally people running around today,
almost like that whole
thinking that like their granddad or their father, is a good man, while he hunted Aboriginals for fucking sport with dogs.
We weren't prepared to butcher our kids and fucking introduce them to that world of pain. We wanted to let them fucking live.
And it just doesn't get talked about.
Well, I'm glad we are, all right, because we need to. And it's part of the whole getting over it and getting through it. Because you'll never get over it, but you can probably get through it, can't you, Si?
Yeah, you can't go under it. You can't go over it. No. Got to go through it. Fucking straight through it.
That's it. That's where the suck it up fucking mentality comes from. Like, we acknowledge it. We say it never happens again. Never, ever.
Well, it's not. It will.
It would impossible.
It just will.
Again. Human nature.
We don't like. We're just. It's like anything. Like what people talk about today, like as if we're in some kind of advanced situation. We've been in more like legally, like not do this, don't do that kind of places before.
We live in a retarded realm, Si.
We do. And
everyone here's retarded. Okay.
We are.
You can't put full spirit into this tiny little.
Here's how close we are.
You call the
Brian. People going down the street and like just assaulting people, like whatever, like just seeing because they've got a particular skin color or whatever the fuck. It doesn't even matter. Because all it will take is for the government to say that it's okay.
Yeah.
And good people will start doing
always
the next day. The next day. They'd literally be talking to their Chinese neighbor the day before, and then the Australian government says,
cool.
and then they're just like literally bashing them with sticks. They'd just be bashing them with sticks the day after, mate. Not even a day. And it's like,
well, that's part of getting kicked in the ass. You get kicked in the ass.
Humans do not
the rules.
Like literally don't critically think.
You have to follow the rules, correct?
No, you don't.
You either be the kicker or you're the kicker. You know what I mean?
You don't have to follow the rules.
Be the kicked or you're the
kicker. Not all Germans follow the rules in like destroying, like killing off, or murdering Jews, man. Like some of them.
No, I know.
Some of them like hid them and tried to do the right
rules.
No,
in the end,
I don't think common sense is the right word.
Shit. Yeah.
Critical thinking. Not common sense.
Nail on head.
Not critical thinking. It's critical thinking, not common sense.
Yeah.
Because critical thinking is like, actually, that's a good person. That person was a good person. Why am I going to like?
By nature.
Yeah. Why would I hurt them? Why am I going to hurt them? That's absurd. Like they're humans.
They're just trying to do their thing.
Just trying to do their thing. Like
have fun, do whatever. Yeah.
And I think like
it's amazing. Like even like we were talking about before, a couple of tweets, and next thing you know, England's erupting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It just takes nothing. It takes nothing.
Yeah.
Like
a few tweets from a couple of idiots. You know what I mean? That don't know anything about fucking just being neighbourly and being friendly.
Oh, they probably felt good about it. They probably got more likes out of it, a few more follows.
Well, it's either good or bad, isn't it? And it seems like what do we say? The negativity is real supreme. Lies are transactions. Lies are fucking is money these days. The bigger the fucking lie, the better the money. No? Put that there.
Yeah, well, that's the lie. Look, I mean, an example for me, like just real super recent in Australia, is like is to do with COVID and not COVID, okay, but behaviour and rules. So we went from a situation where we had a rule, like the government said, you can't do this, you're not allowed to be on a thing without a mask. And some people did and some people didn't.
One kangaroo apart from each.
Most people did. Yeah, one kangaroo apart. Right?
Yeah, true.
So
1.5.
If we recall,
average kangaroo.
If we recall, like we shouldn't be spreading this thing around. So do you know that teachers, for example, so if, like a teacher, if you're a teacher or a student at a school and you've got COVID, as long as you're not like completely symptomatic, right, which is like someone's personal subjective position, right, you can go to school and spread it.
Yeah.
Like,
you're allowed to.
So because you're allowed to, they just go. They're not going to lose any money. They don't want to get sick days if they don't have to get sick days.
No.
Literally, people are going out to cafes just with COVID, man. They don't even, like, because they've been told.
Coughing on your burger, coughing on your fries, coughing on your meat.
That was like 2 years ago, like 2022, like in Sydney was like where the last lockdowns were happening.
Well, Fauci's had it 3 times.
We've got 24.
He's got
2 years.
He's had the two. He had the 2 main ones, and he had 4 boosters, and he still had it 3 times.
That's probably got them from the boosters. Hush.
You away, secret site.
Oh, sorry, we'll get cancelled.
Yeah, we will. We'll get cancelled straight up.
No,
can't give away the full secrets. You can be a sphinx about it.
Well, you can say the C word, but you
talk a
couldn't say
riddle
the
and
C
you
word.
If you say that,
We
mate,
want to say the V word, the V
con,
word, and the C word.
the con and the cove and the 19s, 911s, and don't do any of the keywords. You know,
don't keyword. No,
they're going to strike you.
Cunts is fine.
Don't. You know what the fuck? What the keywords? What
keywords.
So.
Yeah. But that's it. People like 2 years.
I mentioned the war once, but I think I got away with
2 years, not even 2 years, because people started doing it immediately. The day the government said it was okay, people just ran out in tens of thousands and went to football matches and stuff like immediately. They all got COVID and got sick and shit and took it home and killed people and didn't even care. Oh no, it was all right. I was allowed to do it. It doesn't matter if I kill people now. It's fine. I'm allowed to kill people.
It's passive murder, okay?
Yeah,
it's survival of the strongest.
You bank it, and I would take it to the bank. If people
who's got the best immune system?
that women were fair game on the street, and you could.
Are you in the blue zone? Are you a blue zone user?
You know, because if the government came out and said sex is a human right, and so you're allowed to just grab anyone you want and make out with them, there would be just rape on the streets, man. Like within 24 hours.
Well, it would solve the population problem.
Oh, well, would it? Oh, because
stop! Don't see. I'm modern problems, modern solution side.
That is how it's. That is how
you want more
stupid.
It's that easy.
And it's like critical thinking. Is like no one thinks for themselves, and they're like, I told them I could rape them. I don't know.
Well, Big Daddy government didn't tell me it was okay to do so.
Breeding age, like geez, not my fault.
Do I need a license for this shit or what?
They had budding breasts.
That's a good idea.
They would be suitable.
Let's talk to their bankers, man. I'm sure we can get a sex license.
Government said it was okay.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, did they?
You only pay during divorce, don't you?
Oh, talking about, I want to tell you. Like I heard a story today.
Yeah.
Heard a story.
No. Yeah. Do tell.
So in the where I sort of live in the sort of Bondi region, which I mean I literally don't. I dox myself all the time. It's not actually. I'm just trying to be tiny bit.
There's no
mysterious.
real doxing. I mean, if some fucking hacker wanted to know who you were, then they'd know.
Well, you wouldn't have to put any effort in.
You
just
my pseudonym of my.
I mean, my
2020 new name.
My name is like literally on like my channel is my name. Like
it's
not even.
I have a right since
you should change it. Well, do you know depol your stuff, bro?
I will depol eventually. I want to.
It's like $100.
People just
like cheap ass.
Who the fuck is this thing? You know what I mean? Like they want to get to know it, and they're like, what the fuck?
What if I change my name to Cyber Psycho? That'd be kind of fun.
Well, you were known as that when you were on the Pepsi.
Oh well, that's the day. I can.
There's nothing an ass couldn't do when you got the Pepsi rush. Those dice were rolling like a motherfucker, weren't they?
Yeah. I actually wish I was actually out with a client the other day, and they needed to eat some food, so I had a little snack with them, and I bought a Pepsi Max, and I sort of took about 3 sips, and I thought about what I was doing. And then I just pretended I drank the rest of it and just threw it in the bin.
You were just giving yourself extreme pain.
I could already feel. I could feel the psycho coming on, man. The psychosis was about to like level up. I can't take cheap.
Brain explosions.
I can't take cheap stimulants.
No,
I need expensive stimulants. Otherwise, I go unstable.
The quality over quantity when it comes to true stimulants.
That's right.
You know, that's why when I buy one of those barista-made coffees, I look into the waitress's eyes, and if I see suffering, I know it's. Especially if I'm super nice, all right? That's the way I've like if you're doing that job which is so demeaning, or and it means something to somebody, and then you say or thank you very much, you're polite to having you. Don't you grace them? Like somebody just goes thank you or whatever and just grabs a coffee, doesn't even interact other than to order it. You know what I mean? But says thank you and please when they're ordering.
I love giving gratitude, like even like in the deli, wherever.
Yeah.
Like
it's small things like that.
Blessing people, bemoring people, bemoring people.
Bemoring without blessing. I get it, bro. I hate blessings.
I still haven't fully trained myself to switch to bemore, but I do my best.
It's hard to find those to bemore sometimes. I mean, I do every now and again, and when I'm walking through the venues and doing my thing as the turtle milker, when I do find people worthy of bemoring, I give it. And then I say it, and then they're like, "Oh, don't you mean this?" And I went, "No, because that means that, and this means that."
Think about the word.
What would you prefer? Would you prefer me taking away or giving?
Giving.
That is the bemoring side.
I watched an instructional video this morning.
Not the taking away of the blessing. Plus or minus. You got to get as simple as fucking possible, right?
You do.
When it comes to language. And I think universally that would be space language.
On-off.
Like it's binary. Space language is binary.
Well, I mean, we live in a trinary universe.
If you had to, then you could make it trinary.
But we don't. We live in a trinary universe. Like, so it's not binary or unary. Like there's no binary. It's either unary or trinary, but like not binary. That's absurd. That's just
we could debate about the type of the universe all day long, as long as
not
it
really
into 42 or 43 or whatever number iteration we're up to, right? At the time.
Well, it's either 1 or 3. 2 is not it. 2 is like a.
1 has to be was, right?
If you're talking about like
or not, one is not, or 0 is not, is
1 is
it.
It is.
Is.
Well, 1 and negative 1 is.
Yeah.
1 and negative 1 is. 1 and negative 1 is.
Bam.
0 divided by 0 equals 1 and negative 1.
I'm blending into this branch at the moment.
You are, aren't you? Yeah.
I've become like this chameleon object on the screen.
Yeah,
like
you have. Like
verbs behind me, man.
Well, I was thinking about change, but when I saw
I'm
you,
like part of the bark.
when I
I'm
saw
like
you
a tree
blending
branch.
in,
I'm special branch.
when I saw
right?
you, when
I'm
I saw you
extremely
blending in
special branch.
to the branch, because there was another branch you were blending into, and I thought, oh, maybe I should
The
change to
growth.
the
I'm the growth on the tree behind
the
you.
full
The full
cyber techno,
nodule sticking
cyber
out.
techno
talking to it.
pictures.
Yeah,
And then I realized if I put on the cyber techno pictures, you'd blend it even more. It'd be even worse. Like so, just
yeah.
like
That's the beauty of having so many eyesight. It's like you have a natural camouflage because either someone's going to be horrified looking at you, or they're going to look at you and go, "Whoa, what do I do? Big head of eyes." It's almost like Hypnotoad, isn't it?
yeah. If
You're pretty good.
if you were if they were animated, if they were
If
animated,
they were all
oh,
blinking,
can you imagine?
then it would be like full Hypnotoad going on. I tell you. And there's an interesting character to design.
Can you animate? Does it allow animated? I don't think it does it?
I'm
VROID?
pretty sure the new version of VROID allows you to have an animated thing for the texture, but you've got to set it up with like a pattern. So there's each of the animations of the the eyes blinking in a certain order, and there are a certain amount of pictures that you stack up, and then it pages through each of those pictures to give you the effect on the skin.
Oh.
Like actually creates the animation by splitting it up into. It's definitely. I did see it, and I saw someone talking about it, so maybe I'll actually build a special skin of the fully blinking eyeball texture skin on my face right now.
Man, that was a pretty good first hour.
Smashing.
Hey? Olympics.
I've had what?
Australia, racism.
Three of the special sponsor tonight, which is again Koppenberg, the 7%.
Okay, yeah, I've had 3. Well, actually,
I
nearly.
too hard.
I still actually have about maybe half. So I've had about 2.5 shots of
$27 at your local. They're quite reasonable for that price. You don't have to get blasted unless you want to get blasted, but for the cash, $27 for the.
For what? For 6 or 10?
10.
10. 8%.
10. 7%. So 70%.
70%.
7 tens. That's it.
It must be. It was obviously 70%. Yeah.
70% if you drink all of them in a row. Bam.
Moonshine. You're drinking moonshine at that point.
Boy,
moonshine.
I don't mind that clear liquid that easily sets itself afire. I could make an engine out of that, boy.
You can.
I could bore some steam with that motherfucker.
Motherfucking steam.
Chew on the way. That's it. It was always moonshine anyway, wasn't it? Basically, Chew was.
Chew was Chew was moonshine.
Wheat, just basically moonshine, wheat product. And just renamed it Chew instead of moonshine. Bam, there's your fuel source. Highly fucking flammable boiling system, which is extremely effective. Ooh. Super easy.
Saying my special words.
Oh, no more reliable on, the dinosaur juice, as my adult ling would refer to it as when he was younger.
I'm going to put melted marshmallow on my fingernails.
He used to call the oil actual dinosaur juice.
Oh yeah.
Very cute.
I saw it. Skeletor.
Love Skeletor.
Skeletor memes. Special Skeletor.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's extremely honest. He's like Satan.
Satan.
Or Lucifer was extremely honest.
Yeah, he's the So he told me something I needed to know today, which was that oil, plastic is made from oil.
Yes.
And oil is made from dead dinosaurs.
Correct.
So plastic dinosaurs are made from real dinosaurs.
Exactly.
And I was just like, "Wow."
That is truth if dinosaurs do exist.
Well, I mean, chickens do exist.
I don't deny it because they've,
they've
dug up a lot more bonages lately. I tell you.
Chickens exist.
It's nothing like a.
You only have to see a chicken.
Pull out some bonages.
You only have to see like 3 chickens take down a pigeon to realize that dinosaurs were real, man. Like, and scary. Like,
and I've seen crows gutting a pigeon, so don't worry about that.
They just go on, man.
What
is it with pigeons? Everything wants to go a pigeon.
Pigeons are so stupid. They're stupid. And they're flea ridden. Yeah.
They're
always fucking in
their
dumbest
fault.
nest makers.
It's their fault.
They're like the lowest of the birds. They're worse than the dodo. They all deserve to die.
Oh, I see.
I'm sorry. I don't like to be angry at animals, but pigeons would be the most stupid animal ever. Why? Other than to be someone's fat meal.
Is there any test done on actually the stupidity of pigeons?
You're over a fire pigeon.
I mean, I now need to know. Yeah. I think I actually want to ask COPILOT that question.
We've hit another good subject.
I think this is an interesting subject. Are pigeons?
I don't like personally attacking any kind of animal.
But I mean, maybe it needs attacking.
Status, but eaten, and I think pigeons would be on that.
Let's have a look. Let's ask COPILOT.
The most useless bird needs to be eaten.
Hang on.
Come into law that is now common food.
Are there
we'll get a lot more protein in our diet?
Studies done on the intelligence of pigeons, and how do they rank?
They're sky rats. They're the equivalent of a sky rat.
Of
rat on a stick, pigeon on a stick. Okay.
Here we go. Now let's find out. Let's see the rat on a stick. Let's see the rat on a rat. Flying rats. Let's see what a flying rat equals. Yes, there have been several studies.
On the money side.
Wow. Okay, hang on.
This is meme worthy. I got.
Hang on, here we go.
Flying rats.
So, yes, there have been several studies on the intelligence of pigeons, and they have shown some surprising results. Here are a few key findings. Visual discrimination. Pigeons can distinguish between different styles of art, such as
Yes, they
Picasso and Monet.
You're correct.
They can
They're
even
actually a lot
generalize
smarter than
this.
most humans.
They can even generalize this ability to other cubist and impressionist artworks. Medical image analysis.
Yeah.
Pigeons have been trained to differentiate between benign and malignant human breast tumors in medical images.
Bam.
They start pecking at the woman's breast. This demonstrates their impressive visual abilities. Memory and pattern recognition. Pigeons can remember large numbers of individual images for long periods and recognize patterns. Self-cognitive abilities.
Bam.
Pigeons can differentiate
Self-aware.
between past video footage of themselves and a live feed, a task that even
maybe they're
toddlers struggle with.
worth
In terms of ranking,
just
pigeon
like-
intelligence is often compared to that with primates.
keeping.
They've got monkey-level intelligence in some aspects. While they may not be at the top of the list, they certainly exhibit a high level of cognitive complexity than many people might expect. Some of the most intelligent animals include dolphins, ravens, pigs, and chimpanzees.
There you go.
So it's nearly up there with a chimpanzee.
Be kind to the pigeons.
I'll fuck you up.
Don't try and put a stick in them.
Not up there with a raven,
Mhm.
but definitely up there with with a primate. I mean, primate's quite a broad range of creatures, so I mean, it's hard to say.
Flying monkeys.
Flying. It's better maybe to call them flying monkeys. We should call them not flying rats.
Reclassified. There we go.
Rats are very
Put
kind.
it down in the wiki. Flying monkeys.
Should that be the
Pigeon is
should that be the new
equivalent of
like an
flying
Urban
monkey.
Dictionary entry, like flying monkeys?
I don't know. I'm getting this horror vibe about Charlie and his chocolate factory.
Look, Oompa Loompa, they were clearly told not to go in the thing. Now, if you tell someone not to do something and they go and do it,
Yeah,
well, surely that's
it's
their
their fault.
responsibility.
They have to take the responsibility of it. Yeah. Action versus responsibility of action.
Yeah. I mean, what are we teaching kids these days? Like, if you drink from a poisonous lake, that like you can sue the company?
No.
No.
Mm.
You drank.
Warning labels on everything, Si.
There is.
It's been made so easy. That
What's
all
the
you gotta do is read
stupidest
label.
warning label you've seen?
Do not stick in your ass.
You've actually seen that?
Yeah, on a fucking hair curler. Do not insert in anus.
Wow. Okay. That may actually. I think you've outdone me.
Good. That is fucking wise.
Because I thought I had like the winning maneuver,
And
but
definitely do not turn it on.
it wouldn't have said that though. That's you've added that.
Yeah, well, you'd think people would be smart enough to know that, wouldn't you?
Okay. So the stupidest. So I thought I was going to win this, but you just won it straight up. Like
I did.
like hair curler.
When it comes to riffing, bro.
A hair curler should not
I'm
be.
tweaking my beard like a wizard. Like
The
a
hair
Chinese
curler.
wizard.
The hair curler should not be inserted in the anus. You read
No.
this. So,
And definitely not turned on. It's like putting a
I don't
toaster
know.
in the bath with yourself. Come bath with yourself.
Yeah, look, the best one I ever saw was on a which is nothing compared to a hair curler not in your anus. Was for
Horrific deaths. There's a billion
what
ways.
was that? What do you call those things?
Ways to die. So just be
An
quiet.
ironing board.
But try not to be too creative.
So an ironing board had the stupidest like warning instruction I've ever seen, which was like not for outdoor use.
Extreme ironing.
Don't
Yeah,
and not for use on uneven
That's why
surfaces.
About extreme. You're not ironing in the snow
Yeah,
while it's raining.
yeah, on an uneven surface. It's got to be
Right.
raining. You got to iron outside on a rocky surface in the rain.
Suggested that this year. Bring back extreme ironing.
And
I want to see how the underwater guys go.
where did you why would you who put a hair curler up their ass? I mean, it
I
seems
don't know, Si. I feel so for them. It's like
It's
the
actually,
story
you know what, that
we
makes
read
sense.
back in the 90s about the guy that
it actually makes sense.
banana peeled it so that others could help with that, the relief that was left.
But
Instead of being as nice as possible, like using less critical language.
no, it actually starts to make sense to me.
Yeah.
When I think about it,
Mhm.
like if you think about
And
a hair
what's
curler,
done really well as far as our videos go. For me, it's been the stupid chicken video.
yeah.
which I've got, like,
I'm just thinking
44,000
about a
views
hair
for.
curler, and at first it seemed ridiculous that you would see that kind of warning instruction, but the shape of it is a bit like a penis, a dildo,
Yep.
some kind of insertable object, isn't it?
Coconut was the recent one I saw.
And it's warm.
Man had terrible bowel problems because he shoved a coconut up his ass. What the fuck?
I mean, I can get 2 fingers, but a whole fucking coconut.
One. Ding ding. Change sides. I just shit the bed.
I mean, a coconut.
Talk about ripping, man. That's ripping hard.
A coconut.
Seriously. I thought you couldn't get back from that, but an article. A dude had problems going
Fastest
to
way
the
to
toilet, and then he
precum,
went-
2 fingers up.
and
the
then
arse.
they did the whole fucking scan, and then hello,
That's that.
what? Please explain.
Was it?
I'm
I
doing
got
it
to ask questions.
Look it up, brother.
Had it been? Was it still with the hair on it? Like, was it still like
It looked hairy in the fucking X-ray.
It was hairy.
Fucking hell! What the fuck?
Hairy.
Pineapple. What's next? Pineapple for Hitler.
How? I mean, but wouldn't you think like that would be
Who needs to do
it would be
extreme
difficult to
shit
get out.
on
Wouldn't it be
Earth
difficult to get out?
in the middle
When you think
when,
that, you'd think to yourself, you
you
go,
know, such a
oh,
thing
look,
exists
I
as
want
Mr.
to put a
Higgins,
really big
okay?
thing up my ass.
Yeah.
I mean, and
Yeah.
then you go, this thing which will not come out.
There is no hell because
And then
hell exists by the the craziness that some people have in their heads and what they do
oh, hell is no, that's it's
to themselves.
it's right
right?
here, bro. Like
Fucking
it's all
hell.
good. So is the kingdom of like whatever what kingdoms.
How far are you willing to stretch the flesh size?
Well, apparently coconut
As they say.
sized.
It was a story. I'm telling you, it's like what the.
No, I believe you. Like I didn't. I was
So
like,
you go to X to see that stuff. Like that's where it
when a
is. Those
Japanese
stories
nurse
are on
told me
X,
that
man.
the most common thing
It's
that
either
young
bullshit
guys
or
came
it's
in
not.
with
And if it's
was
not,
a burnt
if it's
dick
bullshit, it's got a
because
little reference
they
underneath.
tried to have sex
It
with
tells
cup
you
noodles.
this is da-da-da-da-da.
Because you think about warm cup noodles, and and so a frequent situation in Japanese hospitals is a young male coming in after trying to use a cup of hot noodles as a fleshlight.
No.
That's from a Japanese nurse, man, like who I lived with, told me that story. Like she's like, you wouldn't believe this, but I'm like, actually, and I thought about it, and I looked at the cup noodle, and I thought, yeah, that actually makes sense. You let you get the hot water in there,
Hang on.
and then the noodles all sort of thicken.
I get it. No.
The noodles thicken,
sorry.
and they make
No,
like a
no.
nice surface.
If you're getting a burn when you're copulating with a cup of noodles, right?
Yes.
You're in too much of a hurry. What you've got to do,
You should let it cool.
Wait until the noodles swell, and then the sensation is far more enjoyable.
I would have thought so.
And a little, get it down to that body temperature, so if you can dip your finger in it, like your index finger in it, and it's not burning the index finger, then it's probably okay for the
tip of your tongue,
the bottom finger to go in.
The bottom finger.
The bottom finger could probably go in there, right? The sensory organ with the gland intact on top could probably dip in because the skin on the outside of the gland, which we don't know, man, because we're missing this.
Sure,
right?
sure.
It's protective.
Sure. So there would be, that would be much more sensitive.
I'm not going to get angry about it anymore because I'm more in an analysis mode of the, how more sensitive the gland would have been if,
well, that's the lubricating and they do these things like.
Wow, man. Like
so I've been thinking, okay,
out.
the last week
Like
I've been thinking about
out.
this. The last week I've been thinking about this.
Mm.
Like, and I've always thought that it was so the gland section was, for me, was more sensitive.
Mm. But the outer layer wouldn't be because it would be exposed to the elements and it would be the protective sheet.
Well, I've always thought it was the opposite, right? But I realized this week in doing sort of scientific experiments on myself,
So you've got to work harder when you don't have the gland because it's
I remembered in my life,
like flog it like
partners and
an
stuff,
to get
is they'd be like, oh, you don't really have any precum. Like, you don't really have precum. And I'd be like, I don't really. So in my recent
that's only when you're really excited and you're holding it, I guess, isn't it? Like if you're holding
like it would like
me, if I'm holding back and I'm just sort of trying to perform and thinking of the most ugliest things that I can while I'm being aroused.
Yeah, but that's not so. What you're already describing. No, but what you're already describing is well past the precum stage. People tend to have
like the getting ready.
It's actually a lubricant.
First bit of the lube.
It's the lube that's meant to come out before you're actually entering a person.
Missed out, just taken away.
However, so I've never really had a precum situation.
8 days old. That's just like.
And
I don't want to feel bitter about it, but
so this week I realized from our studies.
I don't want to punch Rich anymore about it, but just be calm and peaceful.
Well, you didn't punch the fridge around that.
No, there was something.
That was something else.
That was financial issues.
It's financial issues. So I realized actually that it isn't. It actually sensitized because what it takes for me to generate precum is it's actually a lot of like lubricant and work and things that to make that like sensitive
part
enough
of their system, bro.
That it actually would.
You
Do. I can. I generate precum like anybody normally does, but it just takes a lot of effort because it's desensitized. Like you said, it's damaged. It's so damaged. It doesn't do that.
We'll get to a point where we can understand what the value of this will be, but and it doesn't have to be a reoccurring issue. But once it's resolved, it's no longer reoccurring.
Well, I don't really like. That's my research on it this week, like what I sort of learned. And I suppose
it was good reading that document though. Like it made me calm to know that it was
that you're just part of a bad
tradition, part of a bad meme tradition. That got passed down from generation to generation.
And not many. Like
no.
In the terms of the non-religious one, like the medicalized Christian version is sort of Queen Victoria, 1800s, 1900s.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Look,
what are you blowing on? The food?
My nails. I'm doing my nails, darling.
Changeover.
Yeah, I've put on a color called melted marshmallow.
Fireplace.
Well, it's very kind of silvery white. Like it's kind of silvery white. And now I'm going to try something really radical.
Are you going full chrome?
Oh no, I do sometimes do full chrome. This is more like it's a sort of a.
Chrome's good.
I love mirrored.
When you've got to be
nails.
witnessed, remember to have that spray can here.
Mirrored nails are so good.
Of course.
But no, this is like a sort of a weak kind of, I don't know. But what I'm about to do is put something on which is a clear coat with sparkles called Astral. So I'm going to put Astral sparkly sparkle coat over melted marshmallow. So they're going to be Astral melted marshmallow fingertips
with sparkles.
Sparkles.
Bam.
If I can open it. Oh jeez. Maybe I can't. Maybe it's sealed.
Trouble.
Let me just use my unfortunate teeth.
I'll
use the teeth. Teeth work.
Need to get the goblin teeth organised. So
you do, my friend.
The new gobos. I mean, I'm lisping almost as badly as that interview between Trump and Elon.
Oh, did you listen to it?
I couldn't find it. I went on Twitter, but apparently, unless you got a blue tick, you can't get that shit.
What?
You got a blue tick?
No, I can't. I can't be bothered paying. Like he's blocked any kind of DM. You can't really communicate effectively with Elon on his own platform. No. So I couldn't see the point.
I mean, you go in there, you take over. You're the king. You get to pick who you talk to, don't you?
Yeah, but I did read like in my Stonks news, it did give a bit of a note, of course, because it had some impact. But
I like that you got Elon Stonks. That's cool.
Trump sounded like his own dementia, like his own sickness is like ages.
Had his own teeth out.
Well, he's starting to lose his own, like he's always
starting to become toothless at his age.
Well, I'm sure he is, but it sounded like he was saying some, things that were just completely off rails, stupid, like just wrong.
Like wind cancer and stuff.
Well, no, he was like saying like that because Trump, Elon said something about well, he'd accept something, and he was like, oh, you're a great cutter, you've like fired everyone who tried to organize a union in your company, which is not true. It's not true. He fired everyone, and that he wanted Elon to kill the Department of Education.
What?
Hey, this glitter looks great.
Oh, where am I? Hang on.
Where are you?
I'm on the branch. I'm like
you're look at you've got feet.
Yeah, tiny little feet.
Tiny little feet coming out of your chin.
That's it. Yeah, I'm part of it, man. I'm like the burb. We're in the burbs right now. Part of the burbs,
Well, I thought the burbs needed to have a bit of like
downtown.
We moved past the burbs.
South
we've got much better imagery now.
Downtown Kingsland. That was such a funny story. But look, don't rush the what would you call it?
Well, here's the thing.
Savory experience when you go into when you fully get into a cup of noodles.
Look, I would prefer to use a cup noodle than I would a look.
But thanks for sharing. Like that's good insight into the minds of young Japanese, right?
I mean, I'm sure anyway with a cup noodles as a prominent meal that a young fellow would figure out.
Yeah.
I mean,
contemplate the universe before you dip yourself into a cup of noodles.
You wouldn't get full depth though. Like cup noodles are not very deep. I mean, they're deep, but they're not that deep.
I mean, that's not that accommodating.
I don't think
so. If you were larger than a cup of noodles, then you want to go a bucket of noodles, right?
But they're usually wider, not deeper.
Family size.
Well, that's maybe where you and a few friends could use the same cup. But I don't think you wouldn't get.
All add to the experiment.
You don't get deeper. Like
throw in for a stew.
Bowl noodles are wider, not deeper. You don't get like
last person to eat it. Is the fool.
You don't get 10-inch noodles. You know what I'm saying? They don't get like a. It's width, not depth, my friend. It's width, not depth. It's more the coconut. It's more the coconut of noodles.
Like if you got the width, then you don't need the board strapped to your back, right? You're not going to fall in. Okay, if you got the width, you're not going to fall in.
No, well, you would need a lot of width to deal with a bucket noodles, a bowl noodle. That's a serious width. You can put those things on your head.
Yep. All I got that is, but be careful while you don't hold any metal, and it's gonna if your bubbles hit you, it's gonna zap you.
Yeah, and I think if you're gonna put anything in your butt, make sure it has like some kind of.
Don't at least skin it and make sure it's sort of surrounded.
But you need a wider thing.
Exit friendly.
You need something you can grab onto and pull it back out. Good butt plugs and everything.
Some sort of anchor on the subject.
They've got an anchor bit you can grab and
external retrieval device.
Retrieval device. That's right. Tie a rope to it.
I feel like we're talking NASA talk right now. Like
if you want to put a coconut,
we had to make a NASA video.
If you really need to use a coconut because nothing else is doing it for you anymore, then you need to puncture those three. There's the 3 holes in the coconut. You puncture those 3 holes.
That's where you tie it through.
Thread. Thread.
Yeah. You grab it by the nose. The coconut nose.
So you've got a thread. Like just imagine, treat it like a tampon. Basically
make sure
like
it has an
tampon.
easy exit for the earlier deposit.
I think women don't use like tampons without strings.
True banking.
If you want to use a coconut, you've got to make it into
a giant anal tampon.
Keep it in there.
Put something away at least the size of a coconut in the future, right?
And then if you hollow that out, you've got the sort of the string, so it's a tampon coconut. You can put like little balls in there, which shake around. You could like a rattle, like an anal rattle. There's a coconut with a little string. Your nearest and dearest can pull it out. So you're ready. You've been prepped.
I gotta tell you, I'm just amazing my shit. Oh, legendary. That's gold. Like, when it comes to Olympics, like the exchanges, so is there some sort of verbal perversion Olympics? Yeah, where you trying to out fucking, out meme the other cunt.
You got to put an effort
You
in.
just got to put an effort in, Simon. It's gonna be all. It's gonna be balls in.
Coconuts deep, brother. Coconuts deep. You got to have those fronds slapping.
Yep. If it ain't kicking, it ain't nothing.
Fronds deep. That's what I always say.
Fronds deep. Merry Christmas in August. It's Christmas every day, Si.
Yeah.
It is Christmas every day, brother.
Look, I mean, I it is Christmas every day.
Every day you're alive.
Yeah. Put some clear coat. So I'm putting clear coat off the top of the astral.
Just to lock it out.
Yeah. I'll just tell you one thing. When you put the hand on it for a bit of experimentation, personal experimentation, if you've got nail polish on, the nail polish comes off. I don't know if it goes in your mouth when you're lubricating or if it goes around the dick or whatever happens, but something. So I'd say if you're a girl,
there's loss.
If you're a girl and you're if you're using your hands internally, you got to be careful because you're going to get nail polish inside yourself.
Make sure you lock all the nail polish off so that
it doesn't matter.
Have any lost bits? You know what I mean?
No, even putting
these things are.
You don't want microplastics in your vagina.
What is it?
You just don't. It's not safe.
You don't. Negatory.
No.
Will not work. The future are our children, Si.
Well, most people aren't even having children, so there's no future.
Well, for them there isn't.
Unless you're Elon Musk and you've had 12 children or whatever, 24 children. What's he had?
Legendary, man. Yeah. Like that seems like 12. Is that one for every zodiac?
Well, I think he's just going 2, 4, 8, 16, 24.
More. Like he's still only a young man.
He's got to have 32 next.
How old's Elon now?
Same as us.
What, in his 40s, plus 50s? He's in his 50s, is he?
I thought he was.
He's a 50 as well.
He's a 50.
Yeah.
He's a 50.
Everyone was a 50. We're in that generation where we made change.
Right? 50s. You want a 50?
Like we saw the modern memes and we went nah.
Hang on now.
No, we'll do it our way. We might change it. Something will be similar about the previous ways, but it'll be less cruel and more fair.
Yeah, he's 53.
So he's what? 3 years younger than me.
There you go. 71, bro. 71.
Yeah, fucking ledge.
He's well, whatever. Depending on what you think about him.
Yeah, 12 kids. Are you beating him? No, you got 2 offspring.
I tried my best to not generate them.
One that I know of. Okay.
When people say that, it sounds like it's a false boast. Like seriously.
Well, no one's got to. I'm not giving my DNA to DNA.
Like how many?
You won't know.
What's your body count? What's your body count?
Well, less than 20.
Right.
Yeah.
So less than 20, you probably would know if you came inside them. More than
pretty
once.
much 18 out of 20.
You came inside 18 out of 20.
Yeah.
Wow, you're not very responsible, are you?
True, but is it a seeding game or is it?
Well, okay. So you actually do have a question. You actually have a question if you have extras because you don't know. You could actually have extras, couldn't you?
Isn't that a king's program?
Well, how many people are you responsible for on a daily basis? Like, do you generally have a flock that you manage?
I don't have a football team myself, here in the house, but
you have
I manage
unprotected came inside 18 out of 20. Wow.
Well, I did work around microwaves a lot, so the potential was reduced by microwave action.
And you're talking, wow, okay.
I might as well be walking in a, you and.
So I'm thinking about it like there's
at one stage the amount of rads we took from that. We weren't sitting in front of the dishes making, having a picnic, but
no.
Yeah, setting up an roll.
The picnic was usually.
Let's call it spill, right?
Yeah, spill.
Working hard on them nails.
Well, in a humid, moist environment, nails don't dry very easily.
No, they don't. Unless you've got one of them UV lockers.
I'm going to get one of those.
My ex used to have, she.
Oh, do you have that?
Possibly in stuff left behind. I don't know.
Oh, fucking hell. I'd buy that off you.
Did take the most useful things with her.
Did she see that as important? I don't know.
I think she really the most important thing. Otherwise, she would have moved. But the stuff that was left outside was moved apparently into storage, so it's good. I'm happy about that, and I'm not angry at her. Like, bygones be bygones. Water under the bridge sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not good to carry.
It's not good to carry hate, side.
It's not good to carry hate. It's okay to be upset about it for a while, though.
True.
But it's a while
past. And it's a situation. Don't be upset at the person. Be upset at the situation that happened and what the outcome was. Yeah. Rather than the person. The person is just a person, and they're.
Yeah, I mean, because if you go, and this is very true. Like I look at the guy who sexually assaulted me for 4 years as a child, and I realized that he did that as a kind of cathartic response to being sexually assaulted by his grandfather.
Absolutely, brother. It
you know
was
what I mean?
A passed down thing. It was almost like cutting the skin off.
Yeah.
It was cutting the skin off.
Tradition.
That was.
Tradition.
Boop, 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 boop. Happened to me.
Didn't come
Pass
into
it
his didn't
on.
come into his head randomly.
yeah.
You know,
No,
it's because he was being
course
raped
not.
by his fucking grandfather. Well, he come home drunk in the night,
Correct. Yeah.
and his grandma was completely
Yeah.
complicit because at least she wasn't being raped.
Held
Sometimes.
down. Held down
Yeah,
to easier to remove.
that's it.
Mm,
Easier.
Take away.
That's why you do it to young people because they move around
Less
more, but they're easy
struggle.
to strap
Less
down.
struggle. Yeah.
That's right.
Terrible traditions, butter.
You know,
You know.
so that's what I mean. Situations are very, it's very
How dare
important
you
to step
push?
beyond the
How
person
dare you
and
push
see the
that?
bigger picture.
Like if that disturbed you, why would you pass it on? If it was disturbing to you, why would you continue that? Like if you had problems
Uh,
with it and you saw it for what it was and you went, hey, what?
well,
How
I mean,
would you like us to? For what reason? Oh, for religious or no.
no,
Yeah.
no. It's pretty easy. Like you give humans. So you know, there's this thing where people say like, "Oh, you're projecting on me."
Mm.
That thing people say.
Heard
Oh,
of it? Yeah,
the
true.
idea. Oh, you know.
And felt it maybe, in an innate way.
But like, and generally when people say that, they mean like a
Mm.
negative thing. Like, oh no,
You
I'm
have
not
to
a
be a
bad
you
person.
have
You're
to be a
projecting.
being.
You're
You have to be a
projecting.
being to accept that rather than a doing. Like to a doing, get over yourself.
But
If you're going to be hypersensitive about it,
you've
then
got to really be careful. So there's this concept of
Mm.
projecting where you meet somebody and you don't know them, but maybe let's say they're black, right? I'm just make it real easy. And
I don't do color.
and then you have an
I've never
issue.
done color.
Okay, like
You're good at your bad side.
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
You
color is
see
relevant. It's
somebody
the
and they've got
outside. We all
tattoos and they've
believe
got a
the same
knife
thing when
and
we
they've got
get
a
over
knife
them.
and they're coming at you
Yeah.
with tattoos all over them and a knife and they're screaming at you. And then you project onto them that they're a murderer.
Why?
And they're like,
Why
no,
would
I'm
you
just
think
trying to
that?
get to the
Why?
my sandwich quickly before it goes off.
Yeah.
Nope.
Go
Go.
get your sandwich.
But you
Yeah.
project
Tell
onto
me
them
the
that they're a
story.
murderer.
Tell me the story. No, why are you doing? Why are you doing it?
Well, you're
Please.
holding up your sandwich.
Don't
So
don't let me hold your sandwich up.
So-
Have your sandwich. Yeah. I see you're hungry. I don't even have to block you. I move out of the way. You get your sandwich. Bam.
So the concept is though, but what people don't talk about with projecting is that it isn't about bad things. It's actually
No.
you can project good things onto people as well. You can go, oh, that person's really a nice person, and they're not.
Hence, passing away the good day.
So you project.
Wish
I
good
think
day.
you project
Well,
on
not wishing,
humans
but
that
just
they've actually got more psychological competence than they really do. You just do. Like
Well,
that people wouldn't
isn't that
pass on
faith?
bad memes.
Isn't that the basis of faith?
No, what projecting on others that they're
No. Well, depending on how you're looking at it, you want to push faith, and that's projecting on others. But
no, but I mean, if you see
to have
somebody,
faith in
like,
their ability to be,
when you say you can't understand why people would like see someone cutting like harming somebody, and that then they would pass on harming somebody. That they, oh, that was a tradition. I'm going to harm my children because I was harmed.
Well,
Well,
again,
geez, man.
I don't agree with that, and that's why I checked in my aspect.
Yeah, but don't project. But projecting that as a misunderstanding onto others, like people
No,
are not as clever
it's
as you
their
think
choice.
they are.
It's their choice.
Well,
They want
rarely
to
it is.
continue. They want to continue, or if they're
Even
forced to
that-
continue, then that's
No, but
not
you
the
don't-
right thing.
But like you take somebody from the day they're born and you indoctrinate them into like, and you brain
Tell them
damage
they're a
them,
dragon.
brain damage from day one. Then
Yeah.
why do you think that they're going to do something counter to their entire life experience?
Well, they wouldn't.
Yeah, so it's not fair to put upon people that they're that smart because they're not. Like they just aren't as rational and critical thinking and like able to break out of like bad memes. It takes a lot to be a person where bad memes go to die. So this is something I say about myself is I like there have been many bad memes that have come to me and I used to look at that in quite a sorry way for myself. And I realized that actually the reason why those bad memes came to me because they knew that they needed to end. And so they came here
That's it.
to be put in the grave.
I saw a good analogy
Put them in
today.
because that's what I've done my whole life. Is put bad memes in the grave, brother.
Rather than sucking his own tail, saying no, that is the end of it. Biting his tail off. Exactly.
That is, and that's what I've done. That's my life journey is taking bad memes off people and I've stopped kind of doing that, right? But I used to have plenty, and I terminated them. And I feel that those bad memes are great.
Put them to rest, where they deserve to be. Yeah. Well, not great. Forgotten.
They've been running around.
Exit bad code.
Yeah, they've been running around for hundreds of thousands of years. Like how many generations was like the guy who raped me raped? Like how many generations back? Like 1, 2, 3, 10, 100?
Who would know? Unless they all share their stories. No one would know.
No, because they won't share the stories. It's the unspeakable.
No. Yeah.
And we have a big
the
problem.
Things that we try to push the boundaries on side because I like not being stuck in his story. I want to hear her story. I want to hear their story.
I want to hear
they're the second, the third party experience of his and her story. You know what I mean? Like.
And as long as we live in an unspeakable culture, unspeakable things will continue to happen.
Exactly.
And we need to stop.
There needs to be an opening sequence where you
and
ask
the simplest
questions.
things.
You say, "Hey, why would this happen?" You know,
like
if we see ourselves as wise, why would this continue happening? Rather than being smart or intellectual, we see ourselves as a wise civilization. Why would these practices continue and be handed down?
Why does the word wise change? I'm confused.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Why can't we ask those questions? Yeah.
Because I don't know if wisdom is really. Maybe it is. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm convinced.
Wisdom is being hit on the head with a stick and then eventually learning how to avoid it.
Okay.
That's wisdom in its
Yep.
rawest essence. Yeah.
Yeah, but that you could learn to avoid it by hitting other people on the head with a stick, and so you transfer
But
it.
would that solve the problem of the hitting of the head with the
Well,
stick?
you're not getting hit maybe anymore.
Wisdom would
You've
solve the
taken a
problem
stick
of
off
not
the
being
person who
hit.
hit you, and you've started to hit other people on the
Ah,
head.
taken to resume
You've got to
their
be
purpose.
cautious. I don't know. I don't know that, like, because that's a lot of what happens in our world is
I
transference.
know it is, bud. It is, and that's the terrible thing. I mean, why not take
I was
ownership?
hurt, so I hurt.
Why not?
Hurt others.
Why not be the owner of it?
Own it.
And speak up and say, hey,
Yeah,
yeah,
take it down. And unspeakable things aren't
yeah.
just like so big. They can be quite small things.
Short pause for me. You'll hear a
Yeah.
click.
Like an example to me, a very simple example of like something that's been unspeakable is like intrusive thoughts. Like you're in the supermarket and you're like, God, I want to punch that person in the face. And we have these kind of thoughts, but we don't talk about them. They're all hidden and suppressed inside us. But actually, and it's not like you need to go up to that person and tell them that you need to punch them in the face, but being able to say that we have thoughts like that, like the horror show is in our own heads. The horror show lives in our heads, man. I don't need to watch CSI crime dramas and bullshit.
BS
The
on
nightmare in our own heads is more
yeah.
frightening than any freaking book.
Poor 10-year-old lost her life over her mother's fucking delusional BS about, some negative energy telling her to do something when she didn't take up, she just take.
That was my freaking childhood, brother.
Action. Yeah. Well, living with schizophrenia, brother.
Facts up.
So hence with half that fucking shit comes from. Like, if you've got that many voices in your head, you are Legion Psi. You are something like that. If you allow those thoughts to take over your main thought process.
Look at our latency. Yeah, you are.
I know, we're banging it out.
The latency's good. Yeah, look, and I think that's and that's what I mean. But unspeakable things, like people don't talk about. Like here's an unspeakable thing. Like as a male, well, as a unit with a penis, right?
Yeah.
When you pee, things can happen. Like the eye of the penis can have kind of like something could have happened, and a little bit could be stuck together. And when you go to pee, the stream comes out of two holes.
Yeah.
Before
I find that
splits.
happens after I had the release. Once
for example, that could be a thing.
And you don't particularly pee in a certain amount of time after the release, so you get the little
split stream
thing happening.
Another thing, like you could have like a straight, like you've got pubic hair there, like maybe a pubic hair could go down, could be there, and you didn't really notice.
You get ingrown ones too. Like you got.
Well, I mean, but if
you've got to be very self-inspective, and I think knowing yourself is probably one of the most important things that you can do in your life is to.
Like, have you talked to your your next iteration about like ingrown hair, ingrown freaking pubic hairs?
Oh, I've just been aware of it.
No, but have you spoken to your next of kin about your
being careful?
Well, that he will have ingrown hairs.
Well, I don't know if he'd want me to pass on the information.
It's unspeakable.
Half the time,
it's unspeakable.
They don't want to recognise.
It's unspeakable.
What I try to do is take nostalgia and make it more information, rather than being like, oh, we did it this way, and I found this, and I did this happened to me.
Well, have you noticed any ingrown hairs down your pubic region? Oh, I don't look down there.
Be more precise with the question rather than the
because as long as it remains unspeakable, then people will continue ahead going, oh, is this me? Am I weird? Like I've got an ingrown hair or something?
No.
Yes. Yes, they will.
Most important thing.
So they will think that. And so this idea of like men, for example, standing and peeing, it's convenient, or men can do that.
Sharing is everything. But don't.
But if you don't know,
hold back your personal secrets. But pretty much what happens to you, please share.
Well, if we don't, then the next person who experiences it might think that that's like weird or unique, or
whatever.
Yeah,
no.
Shit, no.
A lot of things aren't weird, and I mean,
no,
as a removed gland recipient, like I haven't had many problems with not having it, other than the massive desensitization.
You've had massive problems, actually.
Well, it's in the saying of the removal, right? Depending. I mean, some people just got 20% and others got 70%. So it really cut back on masturbation. So I feel that I could have got far more strokes in if it was left on.
Do you think that that's
left on? I probably could have gone.
Do you think that's the cult you grew up in telling you that you were dirty and evil, or do you think that was because
they did? I
I
got dragged, from door to door just to preach the good message.
Proof that you weren't dirty by going to it.
Being holy and spreading the words.
How many words did you really get to spread?
At church, I wasn't really bothered. I got noticed, but my sanctity was most important to me. It had to be, the life together experience rather than the one night standages. So it was, it was a bonding thing. I tried to keep the numbers low. That's what I'm trying to say. So rather than, get the high score.
No.
As some people do, trying to get the high score of how many they've put under the belt or whatever you want to call it. But for me, it was more like the bond. I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know.
You went a bit sideways there. We went from one thing to something randomly.
You were talking about rando chat. Maybe I've had too many. It's just no, we're good. We're about 2 hours.
So I'm just getting.
We're going to have some incoherency. I got to grab my teeth back. Where are my teeth? Where are my shark teeth gone? Dude, who stole my foreskin?
But Seriously, this is the issue: is unspeakability. Is
Yeah.
one of the big problems still in our society.
Mm-hmm.
And
Got to stop spitting on the ground and twisting our foot on it.
like,
Take ownership. Taking ownership.
well, and let others know. Pass down the wisdoms. Like pass down them. This is normal. This happens.
Yeah. Please don't be the victim of.
Mm.
You know, these things aren't normal. These things are the unspeakable.
These things aren't normal.
Not part of proper function. You know, let thy new seed grow innocently.
Interesting.
Let that be the new proclamation.
Innocent.
Let them be without burden. Let them not carry the sins of the fathers.
There you go.
Inside of them. Bam. The new commandments. Them the multi-eyed God.
But still, quickly, what happens is that if I was
human perversion,
started like cutting off people's fingers, keeping them as like a necklace, then I'm going to say that that's not a sin. I'm going to say that was a good thing, and I'm going to start passing down that that's a good thing to do.
Morally viable. We get to that point where it becomes morally viable.
Morals
you know
are
like
fashion.
What's the best fashion that we can wear this week? You know what is the current thing this week, Si? You know what are we
come down to is can you do it to yourself?
What are we coming to terms with? Well, if you can't do it to yourself, I would suggest not to do it to others.
That's it.
There's your boundaries. If
you're
not willing to take the price yourself, cut off all your fingers, and
you're not going to be able to hold the thing to cut off someone
else's fingers. Hold the license to be able to cut off somebody else's fingers. Exactly. Unless you cut off all your fingers.
Yeah, you won't be able to do it. Like, how are you going to hold the thing? It'll fall out of your non-existent hand.
It'll create that reality for you where you won't be able to dispense it. It'll taken away all the chances, all 20 chances from fingers to toes.
I mean, even trying to grab the person will become extremely difficult to hold them there.
Near impossible. I mean, you'd have to have some real determination about you if you were willing to build some sort of apparatus to attach to be able to achieve it. Like you definitely want sponsorship, or at least have some.
But it'd also be a very complicated thing to pass down, because then what you'd be passing down is that what you need to do is cut off all your fingers, build this weird contraption, and then cut off other people's fingers. And then your son would be looking at you going, "Nah." Wouldn't it be that you get? I don't want to do that.
Wouldn't it be that when you got to 20 chances that they just go, "Nah"? Like once you've removed enough of yourself, they would automatically in society understand where your headspace is, and therefore give you the willing release that you so willingly desire.
But seriously, if you're trying to pass down cutting off fingers, and what you got to do is cut off your own, and so then you got to tell the person that they have to cut off their own. That's the sequence. So what you're trying to do is passing down, chopping off all your fingers. It's sort of a self-protective mechanism immediately.
It has. Like from the first finger, wouldn't you know that you wouldn't want to do that?
I don't know.
Once you issued it to yourself, wouldn't you go, I really would never want to do, like, it's almost like what happened to me. Like, I would not want to give that to somebody else. Like, I would not want to pass on that meme, which is taking up the gland to someone else. Like, to me, it was, ends here. Yeah. And again, back to ownership, you say, no. And
the same thing. Like, if you want to...
El Naturel, please. Can you sign me up for the El Naturel package?
The thing off, the head of the thing off your
head. It needs charging.
If you want to cut the foreskin off, then what you got to do is cut your own off as an adult.
It only takes a few minutes.
Give it a go.
I mean,
could you do it to yourself though?
I've got nothing left to take off. So if I take off more, I'm going to be like less than what I started with.
The propagator of
way less than what I started with. So
this is why I say morals, ethics, all this other stuff. To me, the root thing you get to is do it to yourself.
Yeah. And I've been in total agreement to that. Like,
how do you sexually assault yourself?
Unless you're prepared to go through that experience yourself, then why push it on others, right?
And you know what the other part of that is?
If you're willing to sound out, like, and go to the deepest level of doing some decent sounding, right? Without harming yourself.
Sounding, it's quite weird.
Well, it's harmonic.
You've never done it
because I've never done it, but it's one of the funniest things. Like, I was like, what the fuck?
I don't know. I've done it. I didn't find it particularly funny.
Yeah. I know, but it's just...
No. Why do you always bring up sounding? Why does it interest you so much? You've got a fetish about it.
Maybe like a secret fetish.
Why?
Maybe I was just
you watch videos about
it.
You interested?
No. I haven't watched it at all. But it gets mentioned in so many other YouTube, things. Like it's ping, ping, ping.
Who mentions sounding? Who are these? What videos? On YouTube.
I'm calling it, man, because no, they wouldn't. Because I think that it's been added to the list.
I think it's your thing. You always want to know what you think about. There's numerous episodes of you just ranting about.
It keeps coming up on the what's her name? Like, I don't know, man. Like,
what's her name? What is her name?
It does the roundings. Like,
who?
Hang on, I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to look into my Give me 1 minute. I'm going tubing. I'm a
And the
tuber.
other thing is,
I'm
right,
a-
so
yeah.
it's about
Part of
this,
my
it's like,
subs that I listen to, like it comes up regular in that. Like it's, I don't have the fetish. I think she has the fetish. Like it,
so the other thing I want to
or
say
at least
is this,
some of her
the
audience.
thing about
Kershey,
you can
like
only do unto others that which you've done unto yourself. You burn unto yourself.
yeah,
Right, so
yeah.
once again, if you cut your
No,
finger
no
off,
point bringing. Yeah,
if
yeah.
you cut your finger off, you
Mm.
gave yourself consent to cut your finger off. You couldn't have not. If you cut your own finger off, you can't do it without consent. How would you cut your
Well,
own finger
it's
off?
the reason I got
non-consenting?
my tongue double pierced. Like it was for the consent of knowing what the pain was.
So if you went to someone else and then you're like, I've cut all my fingers off, so now I've got the right to cut other people's fingers off. You do, but if you think about what your action was, you did it to yourself with consent. So you'd actually have to have the other
20
person
times. So you'd
consent.
have to have real resolve.
But the other
Like
person you're
each
doing
one
it
you
to,
took off would be more resolve.
the other
wouldn't it?
person you're doing it to after that would have to give you consent.
Would have to give you consent.
Because
like
you gave
go,
yourself
yes,
consent.
take it off. You're a professional.
So morals,
You've taken
ethics,
them all
a
off.
bunch of shit. That is the,
You've
that is
taken them
the
all off.
measure you apply to everything.
You are willing and able to take off whatever I
It's like
want
stealing.
taken off.
So
Exactly.
stealing is like the way you have like, without permission, taken something from someone else. Go and try and take anything from yourself without permission. Fucking try it. Try and take anything from yourself without giving yourself permission to do so. It is
Well, you're gonna get
possible.
your ass kicked.
Well,
You
how
want
can
to
you
know
do
how
it
to
yourself?
box. You want to know how to box.
What with yourself?
Shadow boxing.
Well, you can't steal from yourself without knowing you did it. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
You'd have
you
to
have to know
you'd have
that
to
you
be in
did
that aspect where you had multiples inside. You know, part of the Legion program.
Okay, if you're part of the Legion program,
Which
one of
which
yourselves
we'll
robbed
our
you.
create when we create the analogy for that,
Okay.
that's being schizophrenic, right? When you're part of the Legion crew, you are truly schizophrenic because you have multiple personalities. So
At the point where you have multiple personalities and one of your personalities manages to non-consensually, like,
which
then-
is highly possible
Yeah,
depending on the personality.
rob you. You don't even know.
Yeah.
And sure,
Steal all your assets.
you have entered a special realm,
Yeah.
pretty rare,
Sleep
where you're
programming, extremely rare.
where you might get away with. You could, okay, that's justifiable. Yeah, fucking
Yep.
right.
Yeah, okay, we're putting it down.
And we're a
It's
tinsy,
Max Ripper today.
we're a tinsy bit of the population. It's not many.
Yeah. Highly fractionable.
Highly fractionable.
Oh,
The
just
parts
like
of
that. It was like,
themselves, I did.
that's it. It's like a
Exceptional.
multi-pated blessing, or bemoring, I should say. You know, be all your.
That was good. That was a winning.
Max win. Go.
The thing I found about this, though,
good laugh.
having grown up with somebody
it's important.
who was had a Legion, is that even though Legion told them to do things and they did them, they felt like out of control and they didn't. I guess what I'm trying to say there is that, interestingly enough, that a person
Their ideas are probably the worst out of all the events. Put it that way.
they didn't like that they did it. So even in that situation, schizophrenic,
they're always
where,
coerced into the situation. Exactly.
but they still weren't actually
took
feeling.
the worst possible outcome.
So I don't even know that it's
rather than the
schizophrenics get a
best,
free
or
pass.
at least the least damaging outcome.
I mean, it's understandable. It's like you'd understand why they did it, but they
Modern
don't like that they did it.
Does require alcohol. I'm sure of it.
Like
It
if you
doesn't
took
require
that dude
any
from
other
Bondi
drug.
Junction and after he was stabilized, like which he wasn't, he's dead. But if after he was stabilized, he would have regretted it.
We didn't go to the right hospital.
We fucking would have regretted it, man.
He could
always
have got upgraded from dead to alive again.
It is possible, yes.
You just got to have the right coverage.
Trauma team.
Trauma team all the way. Platinum. Gold.
I got to
Above
say,
gold.
ray tracing.
Service.
Ray tracing having moved on to path tracing. Man, those path tracing. Did you watch any of those videos I sent you?
I was like dumbfounded. I didn't know what to say. I was speechless.
Yeah, the humans still didn't work properly because of how they moved. And
there was slight glitches, but otherwise, the rest of everything else, was superb. Like you could fully be fooled in that. That would, so close to being fooled. Yeah.
That's a real thing. Like when people talk about, like, do we live in a simulation?
We've come a long way.
And the answer is like, well, clearly it's possible because we can make simulations that are as good as this. So, within 10 years, we'll have simulations up to this standard.
Imaginations inside imaginations inside imaginations inside imaginations. Hey?
I wish I could show you my nails. My nails are basically in line.
I'm sure they're spec. Are they spec?
They're spec.
Yeah.
I did my client's nails on Friday.
We're cyber chic all the way, bro. I got glowing hair already.
Yeah.
I should do a glowing hair. That's what I need to do. Like,
I did my client's nails yesterday.
So
So I did theirs. I used gel
I mean,
nails. on them.
iFace is good enough.
And they looked at it. I saw them today, and their nails. They said, "I think my nails look so
I'm always
good."
on the branch.
You are. Hang on,
Like
is this
I've
Luke?
been
I thought we
special
hadn't.
branch all night long.
Did we already see this image?
Pretty much. I think we've gone around. I'm going to generate a few
No,
more
there was more
randos
images
for
in
the.
this. Hang on, let me just check.
Did you like my previous Real Talk is Cheap, AI renditions of
10 minutes 6.
Because I'll keep downloading some more for you, Si. Like I got to get time to
Slide
generate. I'm going
mode,
to do
pause
some
when automatic.
schedule up for some generations. Get that AI working. Like I always say please and thank you when it comes to AI. Like our new AI overlords.
Oh.
Very pleased with them. Like so far we haven't had a full nuclear meltdown, so I'm pretty happy about that. AI overlords forever.
Hang on, I just want to check. I thought that there was way more pictures than that, though. I wouldn't have chosen it if there was like 6 pictures.
It's got to be more. I'm glad I selected my multi-eye face painting tonight. I'm gonna animate it in the future.
Yeah, there's 80.
Challenge, Si. You're giving me a challenge.
Oh, you know what? No, even that. There's still 52.
52.
So 52, there should still be 52 times 10, 520 minutes. It shouldn't be repeating.
No. Got nails done. Did 2 loads of washing myself. I think it's been a pretty good day.
What? Oh, okay. Yeah, I did 2 loads of washing today. I've done a bunch of stuff today, man. I've been very busy.
I'm gonna do sheets tomorrow because they were feeling.
I made a
like I had sweaty moments during my cold shower days.
I cooked.
I was giving out the grease.
I cooked a.
I mean, whenever I get cold, I'm just like giving out the grease.
That stuff. I cooked a silverside today as well.
Mm.
So while I was preparing for the Cheep this evening, between like 4 and let's say between 4 and 6, I made a. I cooked a silverside and did 2 loads of washing and cleaned the kitchen.
Bam.
And then was ready.
I was tubing today. I was pretty slack. I was like just doing the tubing.
Oh yeah, I had a bit of
listen to this, listen to that. Trying to get a bit of news for the week, and I just thought, is there anything memorable in U.S. politics?
Is that memorable?
No. Olympics.
RFK is being.
RFK was good. Like I'm hearing that. Like
yeah, man.
It's to be silenced. Like you're a not god. You're
amazing,
not god, right? And you've got so much fucking silence. I tell you.
It's people like, oh, why would you support him? He's not going to win. It's just like, no, because I'm supporting what's right, not what I'm not supporting sports teams. Here's what I want to say about this: is you know what?
Sponsored. You don't want to support someone who's sponsored.
If you get to the point,
because if you're sponsored, then
like
you're on the
sports
news.
Team, behavior towards these this like governance of America or Australia, these places, has been devolved to a sports team. Oh, they're not on our team. They're the enemy. They should all die. And they're the stupid people because they're not.
Policy, please.
Policy, please. Yeah. Sports team.
Don't worry about the colour.
Is naturally is divisive. Like you're the home team or the away team. You're the
be more
the
aware.
good team or the bad team. Like and it's interesting because then when a third team comes on the play, it's like no, you can't have 3 teams on the pitch. And you're like you can.
No, you can
because it's not about sport.
It's
about governance.
It's not a sporty thing. It's about opinion, taking the load.
And here's something. I was having a conversation this week, and a person was saying, "We've got to make sure we've got to make sure that we have the power."
Responsibility. Oh my goodness, that sounds like
the person said to me, "But
are you growing up?
We've got to make sure that we
growing
keep
up
the power." Oh. And I said, "The power? What are you talking about? Power?
Oh, no more Rainbow Covenant, no more Sky. Are you growing up, humanity?
This isn't about the power. It's about the burden and the responsibility. If you think that being the government in power, the government, that the Democrats have to be in power,
whip me harder, Daddy. Yeah. I hear you.
Then you're missing the point. Because it's no power. It's a deep burden and responsibility, a weight.
What's he doing when you're doing that?
Look at Obama.
Like, is he jerking the sky?
Look at Obama. Like he went grey. Yeah. These people are grey. It's so harrowing.
Like, is he pulling off the sky? Like, is he pulling off Sky Daddy with both hands when he's pulling that jerking motion?
Who, me?
No.
Which one?
Orange Man.
Oh, does he do a jerky motion?
He does this like pulling the sky motion, like yanking down like he's milking Sky Daddy.
Oh.
Yeah, with both hands, but like one hand pulls first, like it's Sky Cow Daddy.
Sky Cow.
I don't know. Like I'm getting mixed signals.
Daddy.
Mixed signals right now. Like when I look at those, when triumphant. It's triumphant mean pulling down Sky Daddy.
Daddy pays your way. Remember that both Trump and Kamala have the same daddies.
Oh, they do. And spank value.
And Daddy pays both.
To take spank value.
Daddy pays both. Because Daddy pays both.
Daddy spanks hard.
Then whatever they're saying is what Daddy tells them to. Because otherwise Daddy won't give them the money. Daddy doesn't give them the toys.
If you don't get the toy if you don't do what Daddy says. I know.
And it's as simple as that.
And what does Daddy say?
Well, Daddy's telling them to behave the way they're behaving.
Keep doing your job. You're doing a great job.
And it's even like, no, but we've got to keep
them confused. Your job is to keep them confused.
But you wouldn't see them. So I realised I was sort of
Sky Daddy
a mile and
say, hey, you just keep them confused and you just keep milking because they are the turtles.
And what I realised is that America is actually not a democracy, but it's authoritarian. because I looked up what the meaning of authoritarian. The people making decisions.
Whipping, bro. Whipping.
Well, the people making decisions are not held accountable. and that they exert their power, they exert their influence through like money and other controlling resources and limiting competition. And you think about it, it's like, well, the people like Rock, these are the investors, the top 10, top 20 sponsors.
These nuts. You got
Yeah,
to
the top
always
20
put these
sponsors.
nuts.
The top 20 sponsors.
Oh, Mr. Beast is
They
hating it.
pay both. The top 20 sponsors pay both sides. They own both teams. And so that is authoritarianism.
True.
If the two teams, which is limited competition, are controlled through resources, all the donations given to them by a group of people who
under
are not
one wing,
accountable.
bro. Well, it's only one eagle, right?
That's
They got
it.
the left and the right wing.
Yep.
Hey, I mean,
It's got a tick in
you got
both
the
arms.
tail feathers.
The tail
could the tail feather be the like third wing?
Have you
of the
heard the
grand
bald
eagle?
eagle? I actually
Could the
saw
tail
this
be
video.
part of the third wing?
I saw this video recently.
The true
describing,
butthole
like,
of the underside of the American
how
eagle.
the
is that what they
the
call
bald
the
eagle is actually the most piss-weak sounding animal.
It has like the worst cry ever.
Yeah.
Like outdone by the crow by 1,000,000%.
Yeah. Like the eagle is like the
worst.
worst.
Crow and the raven's just like shitting on it. Yeah. How sad.
Yes, like.
I mean, at least we got the kangaroo and the emu in our logo of Australia, right? Because we've got two kick-ass, sides to our coin, haven't we? We got the kangarooskis versus the emus.
We eat them.
Emus rock.
Someone told me once, I don't know if this is true or not, but that Australia is one of the only countries that eats its national emblem.
And I'm fucking damn glad about it because it's our Indigenous rights side. It's the reason why we eat it, and we eat their eggs.
Indigenous rights. Yep.
Yeah.
I get that.
Come on.
Well, you're born and bred. You're Australian. You're made of Australia. I guarantee.
I ate the dirt.
You are the dirt.
I took the stings. I lived there with nothing on, and I took the stings and the arrows of the cultured creatures.
Wow,
very
break up
thankful
there.
to
Huge breaking up there.
the great rainbow snake for that. Like, I've always been very great rainbow snake, and that's why I think a lot of the creatures have respect for me. Like, I see the great rainbow snake above, and I know the covenant that was given, and I think that's why when I went up to the NT and I swam in that water, that those logs knew who I was, and that I had respect for the rainbow snake. Like, as a indigenous dirt eater of the red soil, I understood that if you don't eat me, I won't eat you.
Nice.
Is that good?
That was the deal you had? You struck?
Yeah, that's the deal we struck. If you don't eat me, I won't eat you.
There you go. Once again.
And I won't put you under the river.
Only do unto others that which you do unto yourself.
To soften up. Yeah, true. Pick up. None of them were eating each other. They were just waiting for the willing participants in the exiting via those particular creatures. Those willing participants of exiting via creature.
I'm on antibiotics at the moment.
Yeah, brother.
Oh, maybe I have had it tonight. Hang on.
I'm gonna go
that was
silent for a lessening, which I did a bemoring earlier in anticipation by drinking more of the H2O to offset. So not waking up a hangoverage in the morning and
yes, I need to get another bottle of
zero hangover.
The plain liquids. And, it's interesting watching the drop frames at the moment. So this time round, the upstream to Twitch has only got 0.2%. It's like half the percentage of frames, so half the loss to Twitch.
Yeah.
And we've got 3,000 dropouts on SONOBUS. I didn't get, but I will get this week. I will definitely get this week.
I'm glad you're sending more than me. I think you being down there and based down there is a far better output of our
Yeah.
Like you're doing a local recording, but as far as live.
Oh, you also know that I'm doing 1080p, not 720. Yeah. You're doing 720. Yeah. Like I'm doing 1080.
Yeah, you've upscaled. Well, you're closer to the server
definitely.
yourself, so you're better off being the sender than me.
But this week I didn't do it, but I will go and get the adapter and a network cable, and I'll hard connect in.
I'll continue doing my special skin changing. I want to do the animated skin next. I think that's my next journey.
But I'm looking at what I'm looking at is my throughput, and there have been points where I've had a dropout, like an actual dropout in data received from you, like it's gone clunk.
Yeah.
But most of it is not.
I think I need to upgrade my local Ethernet power over an Ethernet system because it's either I've got to grab both the adapters and do a firmware update them to make them more stable, or.
Well, you're only doing 20 megabit, you said, instead of 600.
Well, I'm just supposed to be doing, I've got 100 megabit down.
Yeah, but you live in a house with 25 data maniacs.
But I've got, yeah. I live with gamers, man.
Yeah.
Gamers, everything, voice, multiple tabs open.
The upstream would generally be less, but your upstream is also quite small. You've probably got 25 megabit. You're probably doing 12 average. I know 12 to 15 megabit up as a maximum generally.
Close, should be close.
Which is not much.
Grab it.
So with VDO going and stuff, it's pretty much it'd be capping out. It'd be capping out. Oh, did you get? I don't know if you are on Starlink. Like if you get Starlink emails, if you've ever registered with them.
Eventually, I will when I go.
But even if you just register, I mean like
when I'm mobile M.
So they've got now a backpackable. They've got the Starlink whatever it's called, but
pop-up soldier relief.
You can put it in your backpack. Like it's like $800 for the hardware, They've now roamers in Australia. Reliable high-speed internet.
Space Night.
$7.99. Starlink Mini. It fits on a
Space
backpack.
Night, bam.
I just sent you
Cyber TV draws closer.
It does.
There
you go. I mean, 50 gig a month isn't enough, but in motion, 50 gigabyte of mobile data in motion on land.
Cyber TV.
That's it.
He's customizing it to Cy.
You know, but he doesn't realize that everything he does is for me.
Well, he doesn't do it for me. He does it for us, and he does it for the one. Which is
I seeded him though. Just, here's my youngling.
We didn't have the money, Cy.
No.
How could we afford something like that?
Well, no, but I put the document out there all through US. Like PayPal was one of my partners. Was it PayPal? Actually, no, it wasn't. Cybercoin. What was interesting about Cybercoin was it was the first attempt at micropayments. And what you did is you uploaded like an amount. So you'd say you'd still have to do the $10 Visa transaction, but you'd put it into Cybercoin, and then through Cybercoin, it could then allow you to do like 50-cent transactions and stuff on the internet. So that was the. So I just sent you the link just to check it out.
I've walked away for religion. Like I'm terrible when it comes to religion, brother. It's finding an ignition device to help.
Well, cults,
you know, fire up. That's a
Well, I don't want you. You've got a vape unit. You need to fire that up.
I get the oil happening.
No, you don't have yours isn't oil. Do you know? Like I realized this just today. Like so, my local doctor.
I am confused.
No, my local doctor now does medicinal marijuana prescriptions, and I can just go get it down at my local chemist.
Why shouldn't they?
I can get it at my local chemist.
Relief required, relief supplied.
I thought, well,
bang out the shishas. We're not enemies. We're all brothers and sisters. We're going to get through this together.
So I've just done my sparkles, my astral sparkles, and I've put the top coat on to protect Rimmel top coat. My nails have been brought to me by 3 brands tonight: Ultra 3, Ultra 3 melted marshmallow, and
this
Ultra
is our
3
pre-practice
astral.
for sponsors, right? When the
on my right hand with a
they
Rimmel top coat.
can't accept our
And
output.
on my left hand, I have OXX Cosmetics, and it's purple. It's very hard to see what the particular color is. With Ultra 3 Astral and Rimmel top coat. Fantastic.
Incredible.
Layers of joy.
Spectacular.
Next, I want to really work out how to do mascara, so I can make my lashes more luscious.
You're gonna make an extension of the.
I have pretty good lashes. I don't think I need to put fake lashes on. I hate that. Actually.
I've always had good lashes, but like I've never wanted to extend them. Like I'm happy. I'm Mr. Natural. And I know that song.
Well, I think that
my grayness gives me my glory. In the grey shall I have the glory.
I do good lips.
Without abuse, just merely to enjoy it. The greyness shall be the measure of my life.
Yeah, just make sure it continues to look stylish. Like
I'm growing it at the moment. It's getting longer. Samsonite.
Yeah, make sure it's cut. It's still cut well.
Like I had it was extension. I could have put knives in it, glass, sewn glass, sharp little glass edges.
What would Homath say?
I had mine.
You know Homath's about to become homeless?
That is such a sad story. That's almost as bad as Kanye on
I watched his live.
Gas, bro. Like Kanye's been on laughing gas. He's been hospitalized.
Has he?
Yeah, from the old laughing gas, but very sad. Like,
he was on so much nitrous.
I understand a brother. Like I've heard the ringing. Like, and the ringing was good, but you got to get out of the bells, bro. Don't be the hunchback forever. Get out. Understand the glory.
So you're saying that Kanye took so much nitrous that he's
been hospitalized.
He's on the down. He's in the end of his term, eh?
Like as far as the old left right grab the prize. Like he's.
Did he lost
Is that where he wants to go? Is that where he wants to go? Like is he?
Did he lose fake girl? Like fully puffed up girl?
Aussie sensation. Like I think he's still down under. Like
did he? No. What's that girl?
Hospitalized down under.
What was her name? I don't know. She had giant like fake lips and fake face and fake just ass that was like 6 times bigger than
artificial.
Like a camel.
Like rendered.
It was a rendered ass.
Extra rendered.
She was fake. What was
good. What is it?
Kardashian.
PSs. Good PSs.
Did she?
You got to get a good PS, man. They're over.
Oh, they over.
He's been down under with like this.
Is he in Australia?
Aussie.
Oh, well, no wonder he's on nitrous. He's probably
and then bouncing. Yeah.
You can pick up cartons of nitrous just in the
I know, just cartridges, man. Just bang them down.
In the local shop.
Everyone's after the
7-Eleven.
The knock.
7-Eleven, you just knocks that shit.
You're putting it in your engine or you're banging it down, right?
You can get home delivered tanks. $288. You get like a big tank of the stuff. Just home dev, mate. Home dev on Instagram.
Get the family in. Everyone's laughing.
Yep, family. It's no longer the family feud. It's the family joke. The family frozen lip.
Join the clan brigade.
You get these crackers. It's the small ones, just in the local 7-Eleven. You've got to ask for one, but they'll have the crackers. And you just got these things, and it's just like a twist.
Just insta hit.
I think I've still got one.
It's a stim. It's the modern day version of the stim.
Stim.
It's a cyberpunk stim. You're stimming up. You're stimming down. You're stimming all around.
Stim. All right, man.
What do you want? What's your pleasure?
What's my pleasure? I'm not even sure.
What is your pleasures? That's an open-ended question. It doesn't have to be answered straight
Well,
away.
no, it's one of the things I will return to Poetry Slam soon, and it's one of the things I would like to do
I
a
hope
piece
so,
about.
man. I'm missing your haiku. Like,
Yeah.
what happened to haiku?
Um,
Disappointed.
I've got to get out. I've got to
You
experience
did tell
life
me
more.
last time I saw him, right? Like you said, hey, it did tear. I'll say
But
Eddie.
I guess
He said, why haven't you kept in contact? And I'm like, well,
who was that, Eddie? Don't you?
takes two to tango,
It
don't it?
does.
Yeah. And I've been slack. Like as
Oh,
far
have you?
as true, acknowledged, totally acknowledged. Slackness is like we need to know all colours, right?
I mean, I imagine on a Friday you
And
go
that's
out with him at least once a month, couple of weeks.
it's been financial. Like it's hurt.
Wow.
Like this current environment that we're in.
You're in.
It's hurting my wallet. Like my wallet screams in pain. I don't. Wallet and poor plastic cards do though. They're like screaming in pain.
Really?
But
You live so minimal.
I do.
I mean,
I'm
what
a
do you, besides your
minimalist.
rent and
Like
basic bills, you just buy food, don't you? Like,
yeah,
well,
pretty
and
much. So
you got to get on the
when
cheap.
it's
You've got to
like
get on the cheaper religion, man.
I know the write-offs. I got to pay your mortgage off.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I have to do, don't I?
Yeah, got to buy you a
I got to
house.
get on the money religion. I got to get on the currency. And
Currency.
just, the currency that's here, washing us from tide to tide and from island to island in the modern future of the archipelagos of the ice caps melting.
Ice caps
From the
melting.
Antarctic to the Arctic to
Weather
the
is
Antarctic.
bleak.
Makes you want to shuffle your stomping feet. When Jehovah suddenly appear.
To the translucent skin that traveled from Memphis to travel from New Orleans to New York over 6 years.
Spreading the monkeypox. We're really sorry.
That.
Modern iterations. 2 hours, 41 minutes.
Yeah, man. 41. Not fast.
Yeah. Hang on. Checking time. Local time.
Oh, no, because the stream was live.
9:29.
Yeah, the stream was live.
It was early. It went a bit earlier. Yeah.
Oh, I had the pre
Cool.
thing up there. Coming soon.
Yeah. The drippings.
The drippings.
The lubrication.
The pre.
Value, bro. There's been so much fucking value tonight. I tell you.
There actually has.
As the industry, man, I tried to be a bit spicy, and you did too, man. And I was just like totally risen off you. I hope we cracked this tonight. True. I'm sure we did. As we always do. Undiscovered. This is going to be worth gold in the future. Like that. from a total cult point of view to a explore your own religion's point of view. Throwing off each other and just having general fun in the whole madness, which is, the now. The now.
Bizarre.
Made some crazy costumes. I love it.
Yeah, I'm quite liking my current one.
Yeah, it's been anime alluring. Let's say that. Like if you had to get one, because that's another thing that I've been watching is or at least started was accidentally spoke their mind VTuber became extra subscribers. Hang on, I'll grab it. I'll open up the.
You started one of the normal animes, hadn't you? Like one of the sort of. Which one did you start recently? You told me that you. Oh, Spice and Wolf.
Yeah, Spice and Wolf was good.
But you've watched it all. You're up to the current now.
Yeah, bam! I'm just like a consumer. You know me.
It's not finished. I feel for Hollow.
It's got many more episodes to go, I think.
Oh, does it? I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe.
No, I think that until he's old and grey, man. That's what I'm seeing.
Because Hollow will outlive him.
Yeah, of course she will.
I really feel for Hollow, actually.
She almost seems like that elf character from the other
Freerun.
we've been watching. Freerun, that's it.
Yeah.
Outlive your lover. It's such a sad story, isn't it? Eh?
Well, I think I've outlived a few so far. They're not around anymore, so they must be dead.
A sad story for some.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh yeah. VTuber legend went viral by forgetting the camera.
What did they lose? What did they do? Send me the link.
She just rather than proving of the character she was trying to get into, she just started being herself and appreciate the character of the person she was.
People didn't appreciate her being herself.
Yeah. Just drinking too many beers and going off about whatever subjects.
I don't know if I really want to like
honesty.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, bro. And then you might have a small audience, but you'll have an honest audience.
The other one I've listened to is Unlimited Fanfare.
Fania or Fanfare?
Yeah, Fanfare. That's it. Unlimited Fanfare, which is the one.
The guy. Oh, I went on Hyper today.
Yeah, no longer allowed in another world was the one where the guy was getting dragged along in the coffin. That was pretty funny.
And this is on Crunchyroll.
Yeah. No longer allowed in another world. That was excellent, man. That's the guy where really just send the isekai characters back to their original life.
Yeah, I don't know how I missed
till episode 6. I got to continue watching, but yeah, worthy.
It's interesting that it's cool. It's cool to me that that we have like such different tastes. Like that isn't weird to me. It's like it sort of like exposes to me like the beauty of like anime, I guess. There's so many different stories.
Different varieties and stories
that,
which can be enticing to a character.
Yeah, like things I've never heard of.
A real
like,
player.
What do you mean? Is that on Crunchyroll? And you're like, yeah, what are you talking about?
Not trying to detract or take away from someone else's journey, but more enjoy it as a player. Don't be overbearing. Don't force your will on others. Let them play it out.
I think there's this one you'd really like, just because it's so, I don't know, like it didn't rank very well. It's like
I'm up to number 6, like of my 7%ers. Like,
let me just check this one.
What's 6 7s? That's 42. Like, I'm up to 42.
I'm
glad there's 7%ers. Like,
I think it was 2 I'll just go check it. This thing was a bit out there.
Yeah.
Browse simulcast season, spring and winter. I think it was winter.
Last gold, because we're coming up to like inside the last 15 minutes of a 3-hour package.
Well, we started at 7. No, I don't have any video for the beginning bit.
We need to get a jump, a front, and we can edit it later. Don't worry.
Well,
create like a intro and outro for the
we do
thing if we want to do it as a whole package. But
I mean, there is a start. There is a start.
Used to be we were broadcasting live from your mum's basement, but we got a bit more adult after that. Like, we're living under the bridge in cardboard boxes now.
Oh, definitely cardboard boxes.
Yeah. We're broadcasting live
via the Fire Hunter.
The backpack, so the fucking portable backpack inside our fucking cardboard homes under the bridge.
It's a real story.
In the tunnels. In the tunnels. It's Skynet. So we're in Skynet. It's Terminator Plus. It's love AI or be destroyed.
I'm just going to find this one, which is just like so absurd.
Are you going to be one of the human robot sympathizers? I mean, I know you and I. We've always had a problem with robot wars. We don't like seeing mechanical creatures fighting against each other.
That's sad.
Why aren't they helping and harvesting and doing stuff that they might really like? As turning those humans into beef jerky. Like they should be. Make them the biscuits. Make them the biscuits and gravy. They should be.
Wow,
when they recycle them, out comes the human beef jerky, and out comes the human gravy. Rather than we upgrade the old-fashioned advice for the the blood of Christ and the flesh of Christ. We have the biscuits of human suffering and the gravy of the milk of the suffering.
I don't.
This is where the gold comes out, bud. Like,
I don't know. I'm not sure how golden that really is. I'm not sure what even that meant. But that's
someone's
gold.
Do calculations on it. I'm sure they will. They will
do calculations.
There'll be much mantras happening.
Oh, that was really good. Where's this one? Fucking how far did they get rid of it? The masterful cat is depressed.
A monkeypox on their houses if they got rid of it.
Was it really more than a year ago that I watched?
An absolute monkeypox on them.
Chainsaw Man Festival.
Made their skins bubble.
What's that?
Monkeypox.
I didn't rank very high. I'm sorry. I'm totally focused on finding this particular anime now.
I'm just trying to spin you from the outer edge. Like
you are.
I'm not even here, side. Like, I'm on another planet. Like, I'm breathing the atmosphere of another planet.
Oh no, I
can smell Mars. Like, it's Mars is so close. It's like it's pre-coming. That's the way I'm looking at it. Like, if Jupiter ain't prepared to step
don't
up,
call me a fag, even if I can dress up as a fag.
If it ain't willing to become a dual sign planet, like, step down.
A horse.
Step down.
Don't call me a fag.
Mr. Hands.
Other planets.
That's hard. That's hard. There's going to be modern. There's going to be modern remixes of what we're saying right now. You know that? Like, in the future, like in 200 years in the future.
It'd be kind of funny.
There's going to be. It's already written. It's on the internet, right? Internet's forever. Like, it's going to be written on it. There's going to be itchy and scratchy moments, like in some crazy AI version of itchy and scratchy in the future, where we're just talking about fucking, itchy and scratchy. Iterations of iterations of iterations. This is what our grandparents said.
I can't believe it.
This is what our great. I'm already putting in the rap mix for it. Great.
Wow, Chainsaw Man was 2022.
Grandkids. I know, man. Like, your time passes.
Wow.
Catch up. That's why I cram.
Muv Love. If you want to watch something that's good, Muv Love is really good.
Mashing down that favorite, mate. It's like memory recall, man. How many zettabytes have you got, Si?
Oh.
Are you satisfied with just 1 zettabyte? Upload to the cloud.
All.
You want everything.
I want to experience everything. I want to be all things.
Final glory, the one, the source, however you want to call it.
That is my
reintegration.
All the things.
All the things. Not satisfied with just some of the things.
Maybe
some of the things don't last forever, do they? Some of the things never last forever, but all the things do in the memory of.
What the hell? What is the name? That's going to be quite the thing to ask it.
That is a cheap thing, isn't it? Here in a Billy, like it's cheap. That's trailer park cheap. So, isn't it?
What is the
You know,
name
the gassings.
of the anime?
It's like a terrible
The
cosplay.
main character.
Did I send you that one? Like the terrible cosplay of the
is accused
certain
of
religion
killing
and the other certain religion,
girlfriend.
putting them in the cooker.
And sent to death row.
Mm.
Only he is rescued by a mad scientist and shown to not die.
AI prompt.
And
This
he
is an AI
goes
prompt.
on a mission
Don't forget to put
where
in
he finds what really happened.
trained by warlocks and raised by wizards, man, because that's always the best bit. Like that hits a nail on the head. Like the totally oppressed race of the warlocks and the wizards.
Dead Man Wonderland.
Sacrificed to what god? You know,
No.
these poor pagan believers.
No, that Dead Man Wonderland is quite good. Only his
Lovers of trees.
girlfriend.
That's really it makes me ashamed. Like here in Australia, there were so many tall ancestors here. Between all those who tried to colonize and harvest the tall ancestors, like brutalization.
Platinum End. No, still no. It was so obscure, this anime. It was like, anyway, it doesn't look like it's, I don't think it's on, I think it's been taken down, weirdly. Death row, killed from, he's on death row and killed. But his dead body is rescued, and he awakes
in the French River of Truth,
not understanding, to be in a lab.
After surviving all the brown trout,
travels the world on a crazy mission, ending up in Mexico.
Of all places, Ariba.
Helping a gang, helping.
Do I get a free hat dance?
And runs into the guy who framed him. It's still. The AI is having trouble.
It's having a lot
no
of trouble.
Guns life. It's turned into a cyborg. No, it's no, it's not it. No, still wrong.
Refusing to give.
Yeah,
Nerfed.
won't do it.
Haven't we noticed nerf AI a lot? So you and I.
Well, I mean, I think that it sounds like there's so many. I think there's so many. Okay.
Not God's unhappy. Like
the guy is
AI right now
killed by
has been nerfed in such a way that it totally violates all acts of the UN's free speech initiative. Like as long as you don't, but this is like taking it away. Like it's worse than the Antarctic Treaty. Let's just say that. Like do not go there. This is a paradise. All those hotel-sized gems are for us because we found it first in our high jump.
There's a covetous crazed torture of bad people for money.
Yeah. It's sad the truth's been sort of neglected. Like I get why. If you get your clothes stolen, right, and you're the truth, like someone else takes your clothes, and dare I say, pretend to be the truth. Like, would you feel embarrassed that they wore your clothes and pretended to be the truth? And how much would you want to righteously deliver to those who stole your clothes of the truth, and what you'd want to do to them, like without lying, like if you were just being completely honest.
Yeah.
Like if someone who was called truth went for a little, get themselves clean in a bath and came back out and their truth clothes were stolen, what would you want to do to those who stole your truth clothes or your truth shame cloths?
What is a truth clothes? What is it? What is my truth clothes?
What are your truth clothes?
You've
always been side to me. So
okay.
As far as you and I go, we've always been very honest with one another, right? At least to the best of our abilities and
here we go.
What we're willing to share.
Revenger.
3 hours, 1 minute on the mark. Like it's
maybe it's called Revenger.
The Revenger.
No, just Revenger. Revenger. Maybe I'm just gonna check that out.
Do it.
I didn't know that was what it was called.
I feel honoured to be part of the Burbs. Like I've been a Burbs pal.
Wow. No, it's not Revenger. Master Assassin. No.
He of the Grand Reaper. Is there anything about the Grand Reaper in there?
So whack.
Like he is willing to press the button, do the full reset, be the one that makes them eat the bugs. I'm taking so hard. Like, is it left? Is it right? Which side have I got bait for? Side? Like, go. It almost makes me want to do a bring up the friend behind, but it'll just disturb. I'd have to learn how to do a chroma key and cut your character in and then have the other character in. Otherwise, man, that's another learning experience. I like that. Like I'm giving myself ideas as we're doing the stream of what I can do with chroma key. Like an add characters. Like soon, my head will be on the moon. Like it'll be there. This multi-eyed head will actually exist on the moon.
You're gonna go moon.
I'm gonna go moon scanning in my multi-eyed head.
Oh, here it is. Oh, I would have never guessed that's the name. That was his fiance. That's why.
Is there 33% involved? Like, is there a discount?
This thing is out of fucking
33 and a third.
I'm going to send you this tonight. Sorry that it's taken me 15 minutes to find this, and I've kind of frosted the chat doing so. But I feel rewarded.
Shit. I lost your other link. I'll look at that, Rome. Definitely.
But no, check this one. It's called the Human Crazy University.
It's not going to want me to log in. No, I'm already. I know. Yeah. Okay. Hang on.
It's like really low ranking. Its animation is
Yeah, it's
garbage.
gonna be good, man. It's gonna be good.
It's so good.
The bad is good. The bad is good, Si.
Humans
Seriously,
are
it's the worst. It's going to have the most lessons. I'm telling you, these will turn into 9s. They are the worst, and they will turn into 9s. No, I am fucking serious.
It is so good. It is like really. It's
Crazy
so,
University. Hang on.
Yeah, Human Crazy University. It is fucking whacked out, man. It's whack. Each episode is completely whack. It's just like, but it's consistent. It's got a good story. Like it's actually cohesive. It makes sense. It's not like, I don't know, Petty Party Cure or some of the things that are really out there.
Bang, got it. Add to watch list.
Yeah, that is
Dunk. That'll be the next thing I watch.
It's weird. Man.
Thank you, Si. I love this shit, man. Like seriously, this is the stuff I just.
So he's killed on death row.
Gives me the most humor. Yeah.
Some of the weird game ones are pretty. So what's this thing about the truth cloak, truth clothes? What are you talking about? What did I miss?
Oh,
while I was searching.
The whole no. The analogy of the reason lies exist is because Truth's clothes were taken while he was taking a bath.
So Truth was taking a bath.
Truth was taking a bath.
Clothes stolen.
Truth clothes stolen on the rock, stolen by something else.
Okay.
Which took Truth and then spread lies.
So then Truth spread lies, or because he had no
something
clothes?
In the guise of Truth spread lies.
Oh, I see. Something was wearing Truth's clothes and spreading.
Yes, were willing to pass themselves off as Truth.
And obviously, the moral of the story is don't never bathe naked.
Well, be the ultimate truth and never wear clothes.
Then you can't be stolen.
Fine. Only decorate the temple.
Are you trying to suggest
for the clothes of the temple cannot be stolen until after death?
Which is the
no. You just get your skin tattooed in what you want. Like have LEDs injected under your skin, so you just wear the uniform.
If I could do
whatever you want,
screen, I would do it. I learned something.
Skin-based LCD.
Like dude, I call him Hank.
Through life.
I call him Hank, but I don't know if that's his real name. I've just
well.
So
Hank, choose Hank.
Hank's is like one of these science people on YouTube that says, "Oh yeah, did you know this?" And he wears glasses. So he said
always distinguished when you got
this question. This question. He said this question was
adjustables.
Like, why do tattoos last? It's because the skin is replaced once a month, monthly.
Yeah.
How can tattoos last?
Yeah, because they've done the depth of the ink pushed into the skin, into the muscle, and the injury.
No. Keep going. Maybe.
Well, from my point of view, and the quality of the ink, the indelibleness of the actual ink being injected under the skin would reduce and obviously exposure to sun, exposure to skin loss, all those elements would be added to the survival of the tattoo. Application of skin reduction therapies would enhance a tattoo, enhance a body marking, or
so yeah, it's way simpler than all this.
Yeah.
No, so it actually isn't in the muscle.
Yeah.
Because that would be under the skin and invisible.
It's into the surface fat.
It's into the skin.
Yeah. Just above the skin, just under the skin into the surface fat.
No,
and that's why over a period of time it expands.
No, that's not why.
It gets blurry.
Nope.
Like text gets blurry is because
Nope.
Oh, okay.
No, I know, right? No, yeah.
Yeah. New information, side. Come on. I'm always science friendly.
So
like it isn't soy to me if it means correct
so
understanding of truth.
The ink. So the skin is replaced every month. The tattoo is in the layer that is the skin. However, the needle, the ink is not deposited within the cells. It's deposited between the cells, and the body sees.
Which is
no, it's just between the cells. So it doesn't. It's not like
what's in between the cells then?
Air, like nothing. Like
so deposited in there, some sort of molecule in that space.
So it goes between the cells. So it doesn't puncture the cell and go inside a cell.
What separates one molecule from the other?
Energy fields usually.
Magnetic
field.
Electromagnetic universe.
Anyhow, the thing is that what actually happens is the body treats it as an infection.
A foreign body.
And so the white blood cells come along.
Wants to get rid of.
And the white blood cells then absorb and wrap around the ink, but the ink doesn't it can't eat the ink or like dissolve it, and so then the white blood cell dies where it is.
And that's the reason why they need to get it topped up and
retouched. And so then another
added to it, yeah.
No, so then as that white blood cell dies, and
so does it ever grow out?
So then another white blood cell comes along, and then we'll try and consume the dead white blood cell. And this process keeps going. So it's actually the body's immune system dealing with an invasive substance, continually having to deal with an infection and eating the dead previous one, holding it. And so the reason why the fade,
saw a book today,
the blur happens,
the whole
is because the blurring happens is because the white blood cells start stationary. So when they die, they'll move under the skin. And so over time, as the white blood cells are moving, that is what actually causes the blurring of the tattoo. So functionally, when you get a tattoo,
so they're wiping a little bit away, like they've got like a little mini sponge, and they're like taking a bit away each time.
They don't take any away. They can't take it away.
Where are they going to put it?
Well, they die. They consume the thing, and then they die. and absorbing it, and then
They
eventually
become the waste and expelled.
no,
Add to the poo.
no, they
Add
don't.
to the poo.
No. So then the next white blood cell comes along, as I said, and eats the previous white blood cell to keep trying to get rid of the infection, because the infection never goes away. So what you do by having a tattoo,
endless cycle of
white blood cells.
white blood cell depletion.
Yes.
It's a good thing that you don't get your whole body covered in it and your face and everything else, man. Like,
well, I'm not getting
how
any more
quickly
ever.
do you want to edge? How many quickly do you want to exit?
I'm never getting another tattoo. Finished.
I think I've had enough. Like,
I wish I didn't have the ones I have.
Like,
I've never wished that.
How much more of this scarification do we need to the temple?
Well, what it means is that my immune system is continually having to fight an infection.
We need to know.
That's like puts your body at risk. Makes your body weak.
Yeah, true.
So people with lots of tattoos have actually got weaker bodies.
Anymore is just a
sickness.
I mean,
it's a sickness, permanent
club
in your body.
It's a club, so
it's a permanent.
You've been hit by the club. You're in that club. You get yourself whacked because you like it. You're a sadist.
Oh, no, masochist.
Masochist. You want the pain. You're willing to accept it, so you just take it on.
I suppose. So, I think there's a lot of reasons, but the functional.
I mean, are they going to split you and peel it off and then just make art out of it in the future?
If you let them
are you going to be a meme in the future if you allow your temple to be displayed?
I mean, there are some people who get fascinated with tattoos. You could get yourself skinned if you wanted to.
Art's important. Art's very important.
Well, imagine just having a body continuously dealing with an infection, sick.
No,
being sick every day of your life.
No, had enough. Experience what I need to experience, and had enough.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I get my
to a
tattoos
point
removed.
when you're just going like, no, they don't need to be removed. Like,
well, they do.
Let it be a lesson. Like, unless I want to endure a whole lot more pain to have the particulate removed and then have to survive after that. Like, what I've had done is quite sufficient. Like, I don't feel a need to injure myself in a certain way to decorate my temple to make it some sort of ego manifestation.
Yeah.
I'm the id. I don't need to make those ego manifestations anymore. I've learned what the ego manifestation gives to me. The lesson has been learned.
Wow.
I'm done with corrupting the temple. Is that the best way to put it?
That's the way you're putting it.
Well, that's the way I'm putting it, I guess. Yeah. True. So I can only ever see it from my perspective, and I'm glad we got to share our perspectives.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think of my immune system having to deal with that, and then how much resources are left for it to deal with other things.
Those that have already been taken away. And current injury from 24 years or 4 years ago. It was